always responding, and I just want a moment to talk to Andrew. Thank you. Well, first of all, I would say that like in relationship to linguistics, like languages are consistently like building and changing and even within the same region. So I don't think that and then languages die as well, right?
Absolutely
So
true.
like
If not used, you're correct.
what were people speaking Chinese and like freaking like before the ice age? It probably sounds nothing like modern day Chinese. So like it just doesn't there's a lot of convolution with it because like they could not go back because there is no like legacy of them there anymore. Like
Exactly.
they
That's
like
exactly
so what I
you
would
made the
just
point
say,
of what makes someone indigenous, though, Black Widow, is that
okay, but like
they no longer have that language or cultures or
but like
customs.
listen to me 2 seconds. So like for example, like I'm not Muslim, right? But I'm African American, and there were more Muslim Africans who were actually like transported during the transatlantic slave trade. But like so I very well probably have Muslim heritage, but I wouldn't know I have Muslim heritage because, you know, child slavery, all that fucked up shit they did. Anyways, what I'm really just trying to say is that like me as like being like an African American woman, right, who could say she has Muslim heritage, and then like like therefore, I mean, this is not in the Quran or anything. I mean, I don't know the Quran like that, but what I'm trying to say is that like, does that give me right as like a woman who is like reading the Quran as an African American woman as Quran? Of course, people go to Mecca and they do that, but I'm talking about actually coming into like, you know, very theological Muslim. But the
No, that
problem,
doesn't.
Well,
let me land real quick, Andrew. So like the problem with this ethno religion situation is that like there are so many different people who have adopted Judaism and converted into Judaism over centuries. So that's why I mentioned the whole thing about like the I said black people, but we all know they were
can
black.
I
Anyways,
ask Andrew a
no,
question, Black Widow?
let Patricio, yes, 2 seconds, 2 seconds. All I'm trying to say
No,
is like
we were
that's
gonna
why.
give Omar then Patricius. Go ahead.
Okay, that's why I mentioned what was happening in Egypt, and then also the Romans coming in, and like while when they conquered Alexandria and all that stuff. Because like at the end of the day, like those slaves, those Jewish slaves, right? Especially if you know that like Ethiopian Jewish people are the oldest like Semitic group of people. I mean, they literally have the first Bible. It's called the Coptic Bible, Coptic. Okay, so so if you really connect the dots, Andrew, right? Someone who looked more like me was probably a Jewish during that time than someone who looks
Well,
like you.
probably not,
And there
though.
and no, it's true.
Can I make a point?
And I also just don't understand when you said about the intermarrying and stuff like that. Like if the genetics were like African genetics are very fucking strong. There are less amount of white people in the globe than there are people of color in the globe. So if there were people of color in the globe, right, and they were intermarrying, I just don't think that Jewish people, Ashkenazi Jewish people, would be looking as white if there wasn't massive amount of conversion that took place. And I know that's a dirty word to
No, it's
say,
cool to say. No,
but
I
I'm
understand
just
what you. I
saying.
hear you. I hear you. I hear you. What I'm saying to you is that over
Can I make a
600
point
years or a
from
thousand
Jewish?
years, the admixture of light-skinned people. Because keep in mind, the people of a thousand some years ago that were taken away to Greece or to Rome, they were brown then. They weren't black. They were
No,
brown. They were
they were
brown,
taken away
just
from
like
all
people in the
parts of
region
the
today.
earth.
You
So
okay?
over a
Wait. I
thousand
have to
years,
correct you real quick. So you do you really think that the Jewish people who were slaves in Egypt were only brown?
Egypt, or in the land where Israel is
Oh,
today. I have to understand the difference. There's differences.
I was talking about Egypt and I was talking about
Okay.
Rome.
Good, good,
That's
good.
what I
Let's
was.
so they're two different things. Yes, the Egyptians may or may not have been black. It depends on what era that there's different eras that Egyptians look like they do today.
Andrew, the
And there's
Egyptians
different
were
and there's
black
different
until
eras where they
the
looked black. There's
Ptolemaic
no question.
period.
Modern archaeology has proven that 100%. So you're correct about that. It's different about what they look like in Rome, though. That would be very different because they were stolen away from the land where Israel is today, and they may or
Okay.
may not. But we know about genetics, though, as we know because I'm a Cohen. You could take
Hold
my
on, Andrew.
genetics back to those days, so you
Before
know
we
what I
delve
look
into
like.
that,
You know what a Cohen looked like
I want to let
2,000 years
Omar
ago.
respond to the
I don't
previous
want to
point.
get kicked off
Oh
the
yeah.
stage.
So here's
Hold,
why
That's
you
funny
can't
what Andrew said.
even. So here's
hold
why you
on, wait.
can't even
Go
delve
ahead.
into the genetics,
You
right?
guys ready for
You
this?
only have a certain. You only have a certain number of genes, and ironically, right? I mean, first of all, we know this Judaism, it's a religion, right? But let's even
Incorrect.
pretend. Let's even pretend, okay? Like Andrew said, that these guys they migrated out, they've been intermarrying with Europeans. Well, here's the thing, right? After about the fourth, fifth generation, if you only have one ancestor from a particular place with a particular set of genes, those genes will disappear altogether. You can only inherit so many genes. So the likelihood that, what is it, you guys have 15 million Jews who have been, intermarrying with all these non-Jews for not just 5 generations, but at this point, what, like 100, 200 generations, and you all still mysteriously have the DNA of one fucking person. It's so ridiculously absurd that to even like consider this serious academia, right? I mean, not even a 10-year-old would consider it. But let's address the other part of Andrew's point, right? That you still have the culture, you still have the language of people from this area. Well, me as a Nigerian, I speak English. My parliamentarians wear wigs. We drink tea, do all sorts of weird British shit. By Andrew's definition, right? In fact, many of us even still have the King James Bible, right? By Andrew's definition, we're all indigenous to England. Let me just go to London, Manchester, right? Set up shop there because it's my land. I have the culture, I have the language, I have the religion. Some of us even have the genetics too. So England belongs to me. Of course, England doesn't fucking belong to me. Right? Having a liturgical language, copying the culture of other people, I'll make you indigenous to a land. By that definition, all Assyrians, right, are also indigenous to Palestine. They should all go back, right? Because they were speaking Aramaic one time. Same with the Greeks. That used to be a lingua franca too. Armenian as well, right? And in fact, your language, Andrew, not only do you guys lose it, you have to literally reinvent it. You even killed the Yemeni dialect just to keep the European fake invented version, right? Your language has been a liturgical language for thousands of years, even way before the Romans. None of you have knowledge of ancient Hebrew anymore. So to say that you do because some dickhead in the 1900s reinvented some fake variant, right? Well, by that logic, all these other people I listed have just as much, and actually more of a claim, because we see an unbroken line of presence of people like Syrians, like Greeks, like Armenians, like Kurds in that land compared to you. But again, right, these are just the usual Zionist excuses for how they're
Not one of
fucking
those was
indigenous.
logical
They're not.
or fact based. Not
Wait,
literally not
wait,
one.
wait, wait,
What
wait,
wasn't fact
Andrew.
based then?
Andrew, I was told not to, but like, you have to explain to me. Can you do me a favor, Andrew? Piece by piece, unravel his argument instead of
I
just blanketly saying that none of it was
absolutely. I
logical.
did in
Thank
the
you.
chat. I did in the chat, and I'll go 1 to 7. So number one was he says that genes only have so many. Like he's trying to suggest there that you can't really tell what's going on. That is flies in the face of all genetics. Our genes have millions of strands, and they every new person adds more to it. Geneticists can go back crazy far to figure out who you were a long time ago. So he's totally incorrect about that. He's literally saying the
Genetic
opposite of what
science
geneticists say.
isn't
You
Number
can't tell
two,
anything.
somebody's
number
religion
two,
from DNA.
number two, real fast. Number two is Jews are not a religion, guys. Here's a
They
surprise for
are a
you.
religion.
Jews, no, sir, we can't. I'm not religious at all, and I'm still a Jew because I'm an ethno-religious person. What's our
Judaism is a
ethnicity?
religion.
Our
What
ethnicity,
makes you a
sir, our
Jew?
ethnicity is Jewish.
Wait, you're
Our
saying
ethnicity.
ethnicity is important, Andrew?
What makes you an ethnic Jew?
But hold on, let me just.
Wait,
She asked me to do this, and I'm
You're
more than happy to do it.
confused.
Number three, and then when I'm done with this, you're welcome to say anything you like, or I could shut up now, whatever she wishes me to do. Third, he's saying the opposite in context of the history of who indigenous people are. Literally, he's saying the opposite of what geneticists and anthropologists say. They all disagree with him, but he's right. I got it. Number four, we've been using. So Jews have been using the Hebrew language
Wait,
since.
Andrew,
Yes, ma'am.
two
Yes, ma'am.
seconds. Can you clarify to me these
Yeah,
anthropologists
yeah,
and
absolutely.
can you put it in the chat because geneticists and anthropologists, we
Yes.
need to have clarification for that.
Sure,
Thank
sure. I will. Let me see if I could find the more clear thing, if since I have a second to say it, is that geneticists know that they can dig up bodies of the Canaanites, which there's been 97 bodies found, mostly around where Gaza is, and they could find out the genes of those people. Then they got the people who they've found out are Cohens, that they're dug up for hundreds, if not thousands of years around that same area, that all have the same genes. What they know about that, and the anthropologists know, is if people are in the same group and their genes are all in the same area and they find them and they forgive me, if they dig them out of the ground, the anthropologists and the geneticists get together and say, okay, through common methods that we've been using for hundreds of years. No, I'm sorry, about not, let's say it goes back 100 years, but let's say the last 50 years when they've really been able to dial it in, they work together and say, okay, can we come up to an agreement that the people that you say that came from China, that came through the Bering Strait, they're able to trace those people all the way through to be Hopi in
Okay.
the
So
example
Andrew,
I
I have
give.
a question for you real quick. Have you taken a DNA test?
I absolutely have. I've taken one of the good ones, the medical ones. Absolutely.
Okay. And
which
God
one
on
is
your
that?
Almighty.
Is
two
that the Nat
seconds,
Geo
2 seconds,
one?
and Patricio goes after this, but 2 seconds. So after you took this DNA test, what did it say?
So I did it to check out some diseases. So when you take the really good ones, not like the ones you pay $100 for, but the ones that your doctors have you take, what it shows is it shows your matrilineal and patrilineal, and it shows on my matrilineal line. I'm about it depends. It separates it a few different ways, but it says like 40 to 60% genetics from the Middle East, the rest is from Europe. And I say 40 to 60 because there's different groups that'll say different things. On the patrilineal side, I'm about over 70% of my genetics are from the Middle East. Now, one reason why I'm even more than I should be on the matrilineal, because my mother's family are Cohens. So therefore they can trace it back even further. Patrilineally, though, it's about let's just say 70%. It might be a little less than that because the tests go back and forth. But yes, ma'am. So the good
So two
tests
seconds.
show
So
exactly where
it
which haplogroups you are.
quantified.
So why
So
don't you
in
look
this
at those
in
So
the
can I
DNA
documentaries?
respond
test,
to
it
that?
2 seconds in the DNA test, so it quantifies like so basically it connects you to people who are
To
like Middle
halogroups,
Eastern,
absolutely. It
like
doesn't say Middle East. It literally gives you the halogroups that you're part of, and those
okay.
halogroups then show
So
where they come
can
from.
I
Can
ask
I
you
ask him
something
a
real
couple
quick? So
questions now?
yeah, yeah,
Let
you will. And I
Patrice.
wanna let me
Yeah.
just say this
So
real quick.
Andrew, are you
No,
proud of being a Jew?
Wait,
It's
real quick, Patricio,
not
can
even
I ask
relevant.
Fuck
Not
Andrew
even
yeah, we
relevant.
some
are.
stuff real quick? So two
Amazing.
seconds. So okay, Andrew, let's say this, okay? um because there was a lot of intermarrying going on in Europe and like people were breeding and like that's why people come like Cohens or people who have family from Europe who are Jewish come to look the way that they look. Okay, we get that. So let's say someone like me who is like an African American, which is like really an admixture, right? It's like I'm mixed with, West African, I'm mixed with Native American, I'm mixed with white, right? Like just like over this, not even over this, yeah, over like centuries, right? Like or
Oh,
even
absolutely.
over
You're correct. Yeah.
over a couple of okay. So what would happen if like someone like me takes a genetic test like that because I very well first of all my last name's Freeman. So let's sit in and let's understand that. Um and what would it be if like one of these rapey masters was actually Jewish and I took a genetic test? I feel like I wouldn't
But
come up in
what's
this
the name
haplogroup.
Freeman? What's the
Well, no,
significance
let
of
her.
that? Just so I know.
She has
Let
no
me take.
idea.
Yes, she does. Yes, she does. Because
Okay,
we
let's
know
hear
What
one of
one.
my
What
best
is the
version
friends.
idea
of
of why
the
her
of
last
the
name
One of
is
my best
Freeman and
friends
why
in
is
scripture?
that a
Cleveland. One of my best
significant?
friends in Cleveland, his last name was
But
Freeman.
Hebrew
The
is
reason why his name's Freeman is
Afro-Asiatic
because when they were
language,
freed, they
and
took the name Freeman.
And
That's
is
why the
that
name's
just is
Freeman.
that dealing
That's
with
not.
Jews?
Has nothing to do with Jews. Has nothing to do
Oh,
with
okay,
Jews.
because I think yesterday she claimed that she was a
Well,
Jew,
let's not
so
pick
I'm
on
just
her. Let's not
I
pick
wondering.
on
never
her. She's
said.
Okay,
Jewish.
hold on, hold on,
Let's
hold
Wow.
not
on.
pick on her, please.
I
This is no, none of this is personal.
I agree it's not appropriate,
Patricius,
Joe.
go
attacked
ahead, pose
anyone
your
on it,
questions.
especially not
Hold
personally
on,
attacking
May
hold
I
anyone.
on.
ask my question now?
Go ahead, Patricius.
Okay, Andrew, you are you a proud Jew?
Fuck
Not even
yes,
relevant.
we
Not
are
even
all
relevant.
proud Drews.
I'm not
No,
relevant.
I'm
Jesus,
asking
let
Fuck
Mr.
her
Not even
that, we
Andrew.
are
relevant.
relax.
proud,
Relax,
The
proud
man
guys.
is
and
talking is
loud.
relevant, please.
What
Calm it
else?
down.
Avra,
Please.
No,
Relax.
no, no,
Avra,
fuck off.
I've
Avra, you fuck off. He
You
didn't
fuck
ask you,
off.
he asked Andrew.
Where the
He
Avra,
fuck you
asked
came
Andrew.
Avra,
from?
be
Oh
People
respectful.
God,
coming
I
It's
get
back
cool. It's
from
Karen
cool.
vibes from her.
Islam.
Go down, little girl, go down and shut the fuck up. Go ahead, Patricius.
Yeah, respectfully, Andrew, you're a proud Jew, yes?
Respectfully. For sir, I'm not going to answer that question. It's not even relevant to the discussion.
No, 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 it is because I'm very curious. Because you do take, it seems to me, pride in who you are, your ethnicity, as you should.
But what is the
There's
opposite?
is
What does a
religion.
not proud Jew look like?
hold on. Personally, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. If you don't feel that way, please speak up.
My
So,
favorite
do you
color is
think that?
green, and I
Excuse
like
me?
beaches. My favorite color is green, and I like
Yeah,
beaches
that's not an
more than
identity.
mountains.
Sorry, those are
I'm just saying
interests.
it's just as relevant as the question you're asking.
But you
Well,
don't know. But hold on a second. It's
What's the
not
point
because
of
I'm
the
build.
He
question,
did
May
Patricius?
everything
I
but
build up?
answer
May
your
I build up
question.
to
Let
something?
walk with
See,
him, Andrew. Walk with him.
or
Go.
She's
I'll
right.
help
I know
you.
I'm listening. I'm listening for sure. I'm just not going
I'm
to answer
Jewish,
every
but I'm
single
look,
not
question.
look,
proud
Andrew.
any more
Maybe
than I'm
one day if
proud
I
of
read
being
enough
a.
books, I'll be as intelligent as you. But until
I'm
then,
not
just
a proud
entertain me.
I'm
Caucasian.
entertaining
I'm
you.
not a
Go on,
proud
guys. Let him
male.
Yes.
I
speak,
just
please.
Do you
am
Please
these
let him speak.
things.
So we can
do
get
you
to the
think
Randy,
point.
it's
Randy,
okay? Do you?
Randy, hold on. Let them have this dialogue, and then I'll put you in the queue after Echo. Go ahead,
Thanks for
Patricius.
the moderation. Do you think that
But
it's
I
okay
think
for
that by
Palestine?
saying the word proud, he's baiting him.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Of course he's baiting
He's
me,
Okay,
but let
baiting
him
let
him.
answer.
him.
Just
He's
so
gonna.
That's my
Randy,
issue. The
Randy, I
word
Randy,
want you to
proud.
No,
speak.
no.
Randy, I want you to speak. So
Andrew
just
can
let him get
answer
I
done.
for
promise
himself.
to you,
Wait.
I will not do any gotcha like that. Okay,
Randy's a
listen.
conspiracy theorist.
Yeah, it's okay.
No, you are.
There's all of them. Okay.
Oh,
Do you
Or
well,
believe,
you are,
Andrew?
but what am I?
Do you believe it's fair for Palestinians to be proud of who they are?
I think anybody in the whole world should be proud of who they are if they choose to be so.
Beautiful.
Absolutely.
I'm so happy you said that.
but
Okay, great. We're
Palestinian,
on
it
the
didn't
same page.
exist 200 years ago.
Yeah,
Just
but
saying.
please,
Let
Randy,
him
Randy,
Randy,
just let him go.
Randy,
finish.
Just let him go.
stop.
It's an extra
Randy,
thing to be
stop.
proud of. It's a
Is this
whole new
Avra's
identity.
brother? Like, what's going on here?
Does that give you more reason to exterminate them now? Or
Randy, stop. I'll put you in the queue. Stop.
Okay, but if I created a whole new identity, I would be proud.
Randy, they're going to
Holy
put you in the
fucking
queue. They're
shit.
going to
Randy,
give you a
Randy, yo, Prince, can
chance.
you put move
Oh,
him him down? Put down, him dude. down. Like, He what won't is shut up. this? Put him down.
Randy, stop doing that, or I'll have to put you down. Go,
so
Andrew,
first
answer
and
his
foremost,
question.
I just want to say for the record, it's dehumanizing to say that the Palestinian people are not eons old and not a real
But
people.
they were in
That
Egypt.
is
They were in other
that's a
countries.
hate.
That's what
That
Oh
in
proves
my
they
my
in my
exist.
God. Randy, shut
Prince.
that's
up.
a hate crime
I mean, I just want to
in my
respond. He's
perspective.
saying it's dehumanizing, and I'm saying they were in Syria. They were in other countries.
No, that's
So
not
should you
true at
kill them,
all.
But
Randy?
No, no,
Because
no,
they
Randy,
no,
don't
do you
no,
know your
no,
still
no.
standard
call your
They
bearer?
don't live in
dogs
a
Listen,
nation he
niggers or
wants
no?
them to. This
hold
is
on,
a
hold on,
debate.
hold on.
Can
Let
you
me
please move
respond to
him
this. Hold
down and
on.
then you can
Oh,
bring him
wait,
back
wait.
up?
I have a question.
Listen, let me respond to this whole Jewish and Palestinian thing. Listen. So at the time
I
of
just wanted a
Christ,
dialogue with Mr.
the
Andrew.
No,
lingua franca in
you're welcome to.
the region was Aramaic. That means if you were Jewish or not, you still spoke Aramaic
Amazing.
in the entire region between
Amazing.
Palestine to Syria to Iraq. Aramaic was spoken all over this region. Now,
Correct.
Jews also had Hebrew as a religious language. It was a language, but day to day, everybody spoke Aramaic, and
Amazing.
so
Can we
this is
it
allow
why
all.
there's no
Patricios and
continuity
Andre to
because
finish their dialogue?
saying
Amazing.
that
Thank you for the history
Jewish
background.
people
Amazing.
2,000 years ago, Jesus was a Jew from 2,000 years ago. Why did he speak Aramaic? Why was Aramaic the language of Christ? Think
Jesus
about it
taught
like
Jews.
that.
Yeah, it was the
So
spoken language of the people at that location
All,
exactly.
at
So
that
Hebrew. So
geographical
there's
area.
no continuity between Israelis speaking Hebrew in Palestine today and Jewish people living in the same area 2,000 years ago
That's incorrect.
because they didn't speak Hebrew.
No, we've been saying
Amazing.
the same thing for thousands of
Jewish
years,
people.
reading the same
Hebrew
All
is
books
the
right,
with the
listen,
same
listen,
letters.
listen.
Afro-Asiatic language. Hebrew comes from Africa. the Horn of Africa, it's
Yes,
Afro-Asiatic
Hebrew is
language. It's
a
about 300
Hebrew.
exactly.
languages.
Hebrew is a
Yiddish.
I
liturgical
have a question for
language.
Andrew. I have a
If
question
you
Is
want
for
to
that
say
Andrew.
Hold
Hebrew is
rejected?
on,
still a
hold
useful
on,
language,
hold
it's like
on,
saying Latin.
hold on, hold on. Patrikius, did you finish?
I haven't even gotten close, unfortunately.
Okay, go ahead. Stop interrupting them so everybody can get the chance to speak. Every time you interrupt, there's going to be a delay in the queue.
Grazie. So, Mr. Andrew, we've established that it's okay to be Jewish, it's okay to be Palestinian. How about whites, right? Be proud to, right? And we'll end it there.
Ask
Um,
them.
what?
I can't speak for them.
No, 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 no. I'm asking you. You already actually answered the question. You said anyone should be able to be proud of who they are, etc., etc. That's amazing because last week when you and I spoke in a room, you were pretty liberal with the country you live in. You like pluralism, you like diversity, and you even
America, that is
signaled.
correct. America. I mean, no, I don't like
But
America. No, I never said
do
I
you
liked
like
America.
pluralism
I'm
and
getting out as soon as I
diversity?
can. I don't
Wait a
like
minute,
America.
Andrew, sir. Do you like pluralism and diversity for Israel?
100%. That's why 20% of the population is Muslim.
That is amazing. Then why should Israel be a Jewish state?
There's Muslim groups in the Knesset. They're part of
And
the
Andrew, I
national.
understand that, but why should Israel be a Jewish state?
Because it
Okay, that's a
already
good
is.
question. Do we have
I'm
time
not
to answer
asking
that?
you, Randy.
More than
No,
happy to
no,
answer that.
Oh, okay.
Andrew, how can you have pluralism and diversity
Thank
of
you.
ethnicity, of religion, of culture, if it is pronounced and your support of
What
it
about the
being a
40
Jewish
Islamic
state?
states? Are
Randy,
the
shut
40
up.
Hold
I'm
Islamic
on,
not
states,
Randy.
talking
Hold
to you,
on.
Randy.
are
Randy,
they
hold on.
apartheid? Are they
Yo,
mixed? Are
someone
they,
mute
I
this
mean,
guy.
because
Can you
it's a
just move him
crazy
to the goo
question.
so Andrew can answer, please?
Yes, I'm happy to answer that. Right now, and for everybody who's listening, just know in the last government, part of the ruling coalition was an Islamist party, two of them actually, if
I'm
not
going to
more.
look that up right
So let
now
me, yeah, please
because I
look it
just
up, and I'll get you the names if
You're
you'd
not
like. I'll look them
answering the
up. So
question.
and
It's still a
so I'm
Jewish
going to keep
state.
going on for that. I'm going to keep going on for that. Israel's had a Druze president. Um, Israel had the main hospital in Israel called, or not main one, of the main one called Hadassah, had a woman who's a Muslim as the head of the hospital. Throughout if you go to Israel, throughout the entire country, there's Muslims in the military and the police force everywhere. They're allowed to pray as many times a day as they choose to. There is no limitation on any of that, and they're part of all parts of Israeli government. Now, what you're referring to is a foundational document that says that quite simply, Israel is a Jewish nation. It's a nation for the Jews. It's not saying that Muslims and it's a Muslims and Druze and go down the
that is
list, Baha'i.
exclusionary in and of itself.
It doesn't say it excludes them or
No, it
limits their
doesn't have
religious
to.
practices
But
You
the
It's a
title
literally
of
Jewish
this.
ethnically
state for
cleanse
Just
them.
everyone.
imagine if
You
America was
force them
called
to
home of the
leave.
Europeans, but everyone's allowed in, right?
Right.
How would that sound?
These
It's
guys
a
want to pretend like
European
there
Hold
aren't
land
on,
for
wait, wait,
40,
wait.
You're
Hold on, wait,
literally
wait,
you're
wait,
40
wait,
literally
wait,
Islamic
wait,
American,
wait. Can I
countries.
speak
Andrew.
with Andrew for a
40
second? Hold on.
Islamic, starting with Iran, Saudi
Randy,
Arabia,
Yeah,
let me
40
Egypt.
speak with.
Islamic
These
Hold
are
on.
countries.
Wait,
Islamic
Israel's our
Randy,
republics.
we're not
41st.
These
Let
are
me speak with
Islamic
Andrew for a second.
republics.
Following
So
that
what do you
same
say about
logic.
them?
Good.
Hold
We have shifted away from the topic, and that usually happens in big rooms. It's okay. Let me reset the room real quick. This room is dedicated to expose the lie perpetrated by white European settler colonialists who claim to have lineage, heritage to the land, if you want to call it Israel slash Palestine, while they're in fact proven to be descendants of converted European women. Mainly there are four converted European founders who are responsible for 40% of Ashkenazims alive today. That is the topic.
What
Stick
are
to
their
it.
names, these four people?
Only 5 out of
Randy,
Can
100.
I
Hey,
can I
Prince,
explain
go
Prince,
something?
Prince.
email the
There are
institutions
only there are less
I'm
than
that
a
ran the
dozen.
studies.
I mean,
There,
you've got said, you narrowed it down to four people. Do they have names or?
oh my God.
Randy, what he did
Your
is he
comment is
All right, I'm
misunderstood.
retarded.
saying goodbye,
Your
guys.
comment is retarded. And
Randy, he
I
I just
understand
misunderstood
want
the
to
you
say
story.
there's
feel
40
I
Islamic
understand
republics out there.
I
Why can't there
understand
be
how you're
one Jewish
feeling
state?
right now. I
If
understand how
there's
you're
40
feeling
Islamic
right now
republics, why can't there be one
because
Jewish
okay,
state?
here's the thing. I understand how you're feeling because I was lied to, so were you. I understand. It's not easy to wake up and oh, it was all a lie. I'm actually a descendant of converts. I have zero heritage in that land, zero
Yeah,
lineage to that
that's
land. I
bullshit.
understand.
Prince, you
I
misunderstood
understand.
the
Well,
report. I could explain
science
it
is
to you if
Bullshit.
you'd
not
like.
bullshit, so I'm
All right,
sorry.
can I
It
just
really
Um,
explain
hurts.
actually, Prince, something in relation to
go ahead.
this talk? Yeah, so here's the thing, right? So we all understand, okay, we have 23 pairs of chromosomes, 46 chromosomes, right? You inherit a certain amount from each parent, 50%, right? Now, assuming there is no recombination, right, whatsoever, you get 50% of your DNA from your parents. Now, we know there is recombination, so chances are, especially with grandparents, you get a bit less than 50%. But let's even assume, right, you get 50%. So people, right, done, and there's a study that shows this. It's called Donnelly, 1983. I'll post the article that explains how all this works, right? So the likelihood that you will inherit a percent of DNA from a certain ancestor. So for your great 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 grandparent, so this is 5 generations, that likelihood is 0.01%. For the generation before that, 0.56%. The likelihood that you will get any amount of DNA, right? Or sorry, that you will get no DNA from your 10th generation grandparent, 57.53%. 10 generations, right? There is literally a more than 50% chance that I have no genetic connection, any of my, or just one of my, 10 generations ago ancestry, right? So this is why I'm saying what Andrew point, ridiculous, borderline retarded. Okay? 10
I
generations
think
ago,
what
I
you're
don't
saying.
even think, 1 second. Yes, I will say the word retarded. My sister is autistic. I don't fucking care, right? 10 generations ago. Okay? That's maybe like what, 250 years ago? Right? There's over a 50% chance that I don't have any relations to a specific ancestor. Right? So Andrew is saying that over 2,000 years, these guys have, kept all the ancestral markers that connect them to some people 2,000, to one ancestor, right? 2,000 years ago. Continuing down this, metric, I think even by like your 15th generation ancestor, the possibility that you have no like genetic connection to them is like 99%. So the idea that 14 million people, right, maintained genetic ancestry or the genetic markers of one ancestor from 2,000 years, when the probability of that is basically 100% that they have no genetic connection to this individual, and that somehow all their DNA tests say, oh no, we're definitely all related, we're definitely all connected. Ironically, the same DNA tests, right, show that Ethiopians have no connection to Ashkenazim. No, for some reason, seriously, Ethiopians in general have a connection to all the other
Well,
indigenous
to
people
be
in the Middle
fair,
East.
autosomal only goes back 5 generations.
Jesus
So, but
Christ.
their Y DNA or their maternal maybe is different. Can I? He's been going on for a long time, and can I read
Yeah,
the
you
Since
results
the
can't you
of
can't
my
beginning.
relax
DNA
yourself.
test?
So you can't
Can I?
relax
Can
yourself to
I?
let me
I've
finish.
been coming in and out of this room, and I've just heard him
Yeah,
going
you've been
and
coming in and
going
out
and
of this
talking and
room. No
talking.
one, you could have waited.
Can I go
You
ahead
could have
and
waited five
read?
No, you
seconds.
Can I go
cannot.
Actually,
ahead and
You
here's
read?
the
can't.
thing,
Well, your
Ruthie,
point
Ruthie,
pretty
Wait,
much.
Ruthie,
I mean,
wait,
Ruthie.
what do
Both
you
of
want
us
to
can play
Elijah,
this
say?
game
lineup.
too.
Wait.
Both of us can
Wait,
keep
What do you
shouting
have to
too.
Dimitri,
This isn't
say?
Dimitri,
Tel
you should
Aviv, right?
combine that
This
flag
is an
with
Okay.
apartheid
Jack's
Well,
stage. This is
Omar,
an
profile
what do you
apartheid
have
picture.
to
stage. So
say,
relax.
Omar? Can I
Ruthie, I
go?
put you in
Relax.
the
This
Can
is an
I
queue.
apartheid
read?
stage. This
Jack's
is an
no
Can
is
I
apartheid
top
read
bro,
stage.
Can I
Dimitri.
It's not your
read
turn. I'm
my
up next.
DNA
Listen, it's
result?
not
Your
your turn,
turn.
Ruthie. Ruthie, the
Sit
Crusader is
down,
speaking. All right, it's
please.
1099. Christians are ruling here, right? Anyway, the idea that these guys have any genetic connection to each other, much less to any indigenous people of this land, fucking retarded. There's no basis for it. Their own geneticists have disproven it. What's his name? Iran El Hayek came out and said, "You guys are all fucking
Where are your
morons."
links? Where's your proof? Where are your
I'm literally
sources?
about. I'm
Post it in
about
the
to post.
chat.
Listen,
Ruthie,
If
let
Ruthie,
you're
her
Ruthie,
saying it's
Ruthie,
speak.
Ruthie,
bullshit,
Ruthie,
post your
Ruthie,
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 sources.
Ruthie,
Ruthie,
Your
Ruthie.
calm,
sources
This is
in
a
the chat.
Crusader
calm
stage.
down,
Post your
Ruthie.
Ruthie, this is a
sources in
Crusader
the
stage. You don't
chat.
command me here. I
Ruthie,
command
you
you. All
are a
right.
descendant of a convert. Just relax.
Exactly. You're a convert. Relax.
We still
European. Go
accept
back
you, Ruthie.
to go back to Poland. You
Even though
know.
your DNA is
Yeah,
a
no,
bit
no, no. I
tarnished,
don't
Ruthie, we
think
still
so.
let you
I
hang out.
don't think so, guys. I don't think so.
Listen,
Even
I
you're
didn't think
Ruthie.
so, guys.
even
Ruthie,
some
relax. Relax. Mexico is
Ruthie,
indigenous
waiting for
are
you. Okay.
converts.
There's no reason to
Relax.
be ashamed,
Mexico's a nice place. All right.
Yeah, it
Plenty of
is a
people
nice
settled in
place.
Mexico.
wait,
And
Omar,
Yeah, yeah. So
Omar,
stay there. Stay there.
descendants
Omar,
are
Relax.
Omar,
native,
don't let her,
and they're
Ruthie,
don't let
hold
her cut
on.
you off.
Iberian,
Ruthie.
Listen.
and they
People,
are both
Stay in
indigenous,
Mexico.
but they're
Relax,
still
Ruthie.
native and
Anyway,
Iberian,
Ruthie,
and they're
Ruthie,
still
you,
indigenous to
Ruthie,
this
Stop us from
keep
Ruthie.
continent.
But to
talking.
round off my point, right, Ruthie, you are a Mexican. That's where you're from. where you should stay. You know, that's where actually
Omar, you
all the
don't
Israelis
understand
from
how
Mexico
genetics works
are
is
going
the
to be sent.
problem.
I
Jews are all
literally just
over this
explained.
world.
Andrew,
I
We're
just
Andrew,
explained
all
citing a
over.
No,
We're
sir,
geneticist.
you
all
said
I
it. You
over.
cited the
didn't
genetic study.
explain it.
Andrew, go back to Ukraine or Hungary or whatever the fuck, right? Relax.
Poland,
This is my stage now. Anyway,
Jerusalem.
the idea that you guys, right? The idea that you and Ruthie had
Actually,
any genetic
Mexican is a
connection to each other.
nationality.
Yeah, okay, that's fine. So you're a Mexican. Go back to
Yeah, yeah,
Mexico.
yeah.
All
I
right.
can't hear what
Anyway,
you're saying
listen.
anymore.
The
It's like
idea that you and
blah, blah,
Andrew
Prince,
are
blah,
can you
blah.
connected
mute
to each
I
other.
can't
Ruthie?
hear you. Land the
Listen,
plane
Ruthie.
or
The
something.
idea that you and Andrew are connected to each other in any modicum of way, not only is it retarded, but in some way, I wish it was, because that means 60 million of you are inbred to like the nth degree. God knows how many genetic diseases you're gonna have. But then again, actually, there's some evidence that there's quite a bit of inbreeding in your population anyway. I guess that's for you to,
Yeah, the
deal with, not for
Iberian
me.
population too.
Wait, wait.
Lots of Jewish
Congratulations. So
population.
about
There's
okay.
Can
So
you
so
well
pray
many
about
done,
it?
Thank
I'm
you.
Ruthie.
Why are
Jews
you
that
so
are
obsessed with
breeding
Jewish
Wait,
people
chickens.
and their
listen.
DNA? You
This
fucking
is
creep.
actually a good point. You don't see this kind of like genetic problems and the big noses and the whatever with Ethiopian
All
Jews, with
Middle
Mizrahi
Eastern
Jews.
people have
The
Nah,
Exactly.
nah,
DNA.
nah.
Exactly,
That's a
Benny.
Husbands
Ashkenazi
have
Jew
Nah,
thing.
speak
DNA.
for
Yeah,
myself.
but
Nah,
I
not
know
the
what you're
hook
saying.
that's
nose.
a
Clearly.
your
Hitbreeding.
people
Goddamn
thing.
It's
bald
because
Not
of
the
these
headed
hook
last
little
nose
couple
thing.
100
Caucasian.
years.
You
They've
bald
been
The
headed.
hook
inbreeding,
nose is
but the
specific.
rest of the Jews
Free
around the
Oh,
world
hook
are not
Palestine.
nose.
inbreeding.
Hook nose. That's a good one. That's a good one. Hook nose. Yeah, that's a
Free
good one.
Israel
Palestine.
is
But
That's good.
land
it's a
back.
strong
Land back,
genetic
bitches.
marker.
Hashtag.
I said big nose.
Flash your mic if you'd like to speak so I can build a queue.
Also, Prince, I'm gonna back channel you
Fla-
the explanation.
okay,
Just
flash your mic.
pin it.
We're gonna go Echo, Najmi, and then Jack.
Yeah, well, first of all, hello everyone. Andrew, you keep using the word indigenous and you keep using DNA and all of these things as a standard to, justify what's going on today and what has been going on for the past 100 years. Do you actually know the definition of indigeneity?
I certainly do. I'll post it right now to the chat so everyone
Yeah,
can
sure.
see what the
We
definition
can
is.
post, sure, if you would like to, post the UN definition of indigenous people. Now, there's a specific part within the definition of it where it says must form non-dominant groups of society. Are you familiar with that one? That part of it? Man, that's okay.
Sorry, one sec. I'm posting it now. Yeah, we were non-dominant for over 2,000 years. Thank you. Yes, and non-dominant globally.
But
Yes,
hold on, wait. But today you're dominant, right?
since 1948 only have Jews been dominant in there, and that goes back to
So Jews are no longer
2,500
indigenous.
years ago. 2,500 years ago. Yes, thank you. So we were only dominant
Now,
by
I'm not
governmental
asking you to go
feature.
on a tangent. Listen to my point. It's a very simple question. Since Jews are no longer the non-dominant group of society, do they lose their indigeneity status?
Sorry, I'm trying to post it again, please. I didn't hear that.
I'll post it. خلاص.
No, I'm just
Don't use
saying.
it
No,
as an
ask the
excuse,
question
but I'll
again.
post it.
Ask
Right?
the question again.
Now, since Jews are no longer the non-dominant group of society, since they dominate the entirety of the land from the river to the sea, do they lose their indigeneity status? Are they no longer indigenous?
Sorry, I just got to chat. We're still indigenous, of course. You don't lose that one because you have one feature of it, because we have gained the power in our own indigenous land only since 1948. That doesn't mean we lose our indigenous feature. Indigenous means how long back, how long ago were you the rulers, the people that had the same language, the same customs, and that
You
carried
people
over.
were
So I
never
posted to the chat for
rulers.
everybody
No.
You
here.
people were
What
never
is
So
rulers.
yeah,
indigenous?
sure. Post it
Again,
in the
we
chat, no
debunk
And
problem.
let me
the
know which of those
the
the Palestinians
respectfully. Your
qualify
people
for.
were
You just let me know.
You can, yeah, Habibi, stop interrupting. Let me finish, right? Number one, that is a part of the definition. Since
That is
you love quoting the
literally
definition, and
the
since you're so
work
familiar, let me
group
finish. Let me finish.
definition.
Let me finish. Since you're so familiar with it, and since you know so much about it, by definition, they would no longer be indigenous. I'll give you another example.
That's
Indigenous
incorrect.
historically, who
We
has
still
it
have
been used
indigenous. I'm
to?
just saying
Shush.
that doesn't
Let me
make it
finish.
true.
Let me finish. Let me finish. Historically, what groups of people has the word indigenous been used to refer to? The native people who have always been colonized. whether it's the Code of the Indigenous in France in the 1600s or the 1700s or the 1800s, whether it's the natives of Australia, New Zealand, and the Americas.
Sir, natives
It
are
was not
different than
used to say,
indigenous.
let me
Those are
finish.
two different
Let me
words and two
finish.
different classifications,
So
though.
I use the Native Americans. That is what they're called. Is that not what they're
That's
called?
what they're called in the English language, but they're in the indigenous people. The
Uh-huh.
Hopi are indigenous
So
to
listen,
northern
listen to what I
Arizona.
said.
The
Listen to what I said.
Sammamish
I'm
are
not
indigenous
using,
to where
okay,
I
I'm
live.
not using the word native to, that's their status. I'm simply calling them what they are. Whether you want to call them the indigenous peoples of America, Australia, the
Yeah,
Aboriginals,
let's call them
whatever you
that.
want to
Let's call
call
them that.
them. You know who
Indigenous,
I'm
absolutely.
talking
Thank
about.
you. Yeah, we're agreeing
Yeah.
on that.
Indigenous and native are synonyms.
They're not. No, sir, they're not. Native
Now,
is different than
hold on.
indigenous.
Forget about that tangent for a second, right? Let me finish my point. Has indigenous been used to describe non-oppressed, non-colonized people historically?
Oh, absolutely. You don't have to be oppressed to be an indigenous person.
Sure. So why, hold on, wait 1 second. Why is it that the definition clearly states you have to be a non-dominant group of society? Why is it that historically it has been pretty much used to some for people who are colonized? Whether it
Great
is the
question.
natives and the indigenous peoples of North Africa, or once again the Americas, New Zealand, Australia, all of these people, they have one thing in common. Colonists came, colonized them, and to some extent wiped their culture out and
Like the
replaced them.
Romans, correct. Thank you.
The Romans did not replace anyone.
The Romans did not occupy and colonize the land which today is Israel?
They did
Sir,
not
come on.
Number
colonize
one,
it.
hold on, wait, no, hold on, wait, hold on,
Come
hold
on.
on. Even if they
Are
did,
the
hold on,
Romans
wait, one
from the
second.
land
Let me
which is
finish.
today Israel,
Let me
sir?
finish. Even if they did,
How about the
it's
Greeks?
not relevant. Even if they did, it's not relevant to the
The
conversation, is it?
Mamluks? The Crusaders?
Once again, I
The
repeat my point.
Ottomans?
I like how the Crusaders, is thrown in there, but once again, I repeat my point. Is this relevant to my point? It's not. It has nothing to do with my point. I don't give a fuck what the
It
Romans
kills your
did
point.
2,000 years
It
ago.
kills your point,
It
sir.
doesn't kill my point. It doesn't
It
kill my point.
literally destroys
Because
your point.
hold on, wait. Because the people who would have been colonized 2,000 years ago. Yeah, حبيبي خليني أكمل. Yeah, who's this guy, bro? Stop interrupting. If these people that you're talking about were colonized 2,000 years ago, who would they be today? Palestinians. They would not be you.
No,
It
sir.
would be us.
That's incorrect.
Yes.
Because they weren't. No, sir.
They no.
The
So hold on. Are
dominant
you
culture
familiar?
there
Hold on
was
one
not.
second.
First of all,
Are you
sir.
familiar? Let me finish. Yeah,
No,
Habibi, you
please.
can call me
Sir,
sir.
yeah.
You can do it. I don't know if
I
you're
say
using
sir just
sir as
because
a
I'm
term.
polite. I'm not trying to
Yeah,
speak down
yeah.
to
I
you. I
don't know
say
if
that.
you're using sir as a term of politeness when you fucking interrupt
It's
me.
literally politeness. But
You're
yeah, I
interrupting
apologize
me.
for
Yeah,
interrupting.
you're
Keep going.
interrupting me. Yeah. Now, you're familiar with the Roman samples, the Roman era samples, correct? Are you familiar with any of them? The Beirut sample, the Palestine samples, all of these samples, Palestinians would be one of the closest people to them. I do agree that, yeah, of course. مين هذا يا حبيبي خليك ساكت انت ايش دخلك؟ Anyways, so Palestinians would be the ones close to these people. I don't care if Jews are or not, but Palestinians will be close to them, would they not?
Would you like my answer?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. No, and I'll tell you why. When the Romans were there 2,000 years ago, when they dig up the coins or they dig up all the archaeological data, they don't find so-called Palestinian stuff. They find Hebrew letters. The Romans talk about who they took the land from. There's more evidence ever to say they took it from the Jews. They didn't say there was someone else there governing the land. King David and his descendants were there, and they were mostly Jews in that region. How do we know that? Because again, when you dig down and you find tons of Jewy shit and you don't find other stuff, you start to say, okay, we know who the dominant cultures are. We can't go in a time machine, but we know that in China 2,000 years ago, you can dig down and find out who were the people there because literally peer-reviewed science says that if you dig it down and you find enough stuff of one group, you can clearly state that yes. Now, in
Does
terms
not
of the
give you an
context of the
excuse to
Palestinians, now let me,
You're
now,
going off a
give me,
tangent
guys, give me
regarding
20,
a
give
point
me
I
30
never made.
seconds. Give me 30
Yeah,
seconds and
sure.
I'll say the last
it,
part.
it
And
doesn't
I'll be
give you
done.
an excuse to bomb
30 seconds.
Palestinian children.
Hey
None
guys,
of this shit
that's what I'm
doesn't.
saying. I'm about to answer that. It's literally about to answer. The last part I'll say is that we 100% we know because of Ottoman census data, of British census data, and again of all the history that's written that we know that in 1860, how many people of different groups were in that land? Because the Ottomans for years were doing census data. The British, when they came in after World War I, did census also and had similar numbers. What we know is that the growth of the people who were the non-Jews, the Muslims, grew by almost 400% between 1880 and 1940. Now that's beyond the possibility of natural growth, of birth growth. So we know that there were people moving into the region. So, sir, 2,000 years ago, those people weren't in the
Yeah.
region. They were in
So
Syria.
yeah.
They were
So
indigenous
once again, you
people
hold on.
wiped out.
Once again, I
I'd like to have
like
my turn,
how
please. Prince.
this is not the question that I asked. I like how you went on a tangent and went on and oh, from time immemorial, John Peters, that dumbass blonde bitch says this. But that's not the question I asked. We'll respond to it later. But the question I asked, and it's very clear, it's a yes or no question, or however you want to respond to it. It's a very simple question. The samples from the Roman era, 2,000 years ago, are Palestinians not one of the closest people related to them?
No, they most certainly are not.
Then why is it that all the studies show so? And why
They
is it
don't,
that
sir.
any distance calculator? Let
I
me finish.
studied it all, and I'm
Sure,
telling you right now, there's no study that
sure. They
shows
hold on,
that today's Palestinians
Fine,
are the same as the Roman.
fine. They don't. They don't. You're right. You're right. Absolutely. 100%. Then why is it that I'll give you actually 3 studies? I'll put them in the chat, and you're more than welcome to look them up on your own. This is not just the Roman era. This actually goes back to the Bronze Age era. So one of the studies is called farming. Actually, one second. Let me be 100% what it's called.
Yeah, just put it in the chat. I'll be more than happy to read it.
I'm on my laptop. Just I'll put the names of the studies in the chat, but just give me 1 second. Toot, 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 toot. Yeah. Now, while I'm getting this, regarding the point that you were making about Palestinians being migrants to the land, I don't know if you're familiar with this, but all of the books which actually claim that, every single one has been debunked. Whether
That's
it's from
sir,
time
that's not
immemorial,
true.
let me finish.
Folks, he's lying to you
Hold
right
on.
now.
Okay, sure. One of the first people to popularize this myth, who was it? Was it not John Peters and from time immemorial in 1982?
I have no idea who that is.
Sure, I get it. It happens. مش مشكلة. Then why is it
It
that the
certainly
bitch who wrote
precedes
that book,
1982.
Randy, hey, fat fuck.
Notion.
Look at the wall behind you. Look at the wall behind you and keep a dick in your mouth. Stop interrupting.
Okay, that's
Yeah,
that's the
that's really
level that I
ridiculous of you to
expect from
say.
you.
Shush.
That's why
You have
people
a
don't
ball
trust you.
Echo,
sack on
all
your
that's
face.
going to happen
Shut
is
up,
cause
fat
Now,
fuck.
conflict.
this isn't your
Fat
mother's
fuck,
house.
don't
This is
interrupt. This has nothing to do with you.
you're talking to
Fat
big
boy,
Hey,
people. You're
you can
Randy,
gonna
stay
have to
quiet.
Randy,
answer.
This
I'm going
has
to take
nothing
off.
to
When
do
the
with
Hey,
you.
language
big
gets like
boy.
this, I
Big
leave.
boy,
So,
Randy.
Randy, you can take over. Bye, guys. Prince, I appreciate you. I mean that. Bye-bye.
هلا اللي تقلعك انت والفقرة الثاني.
ولد الكلب. Tfu.
It's funny that American Jews, whether they're radical Jews or not, they're more up in arms about Kyrie Irving than they are about Israel bombing the shit out of 98-year-old Palestinian ladies, which is fucking funny as shit to me, and which is why I can't. Honestly, look, I would never disparage any group, whether religion or anything else, but man, it's funny as fuck to me, and I can't respect anybody that fucking talks about Israel, this Israel, that, and fucking lets Israel just bomb people when they get a fucking itch on their ass.
Only defensively. Only to
Yeah,
protect
yeah,
territory.
defensive
Only
invasion.
defensive.
Defensive. Yes, you're right, Norm. The ethnic cleansing, the apartheid, the home demolitions, and the military occupation are all defensive, people. It's all
The
defensive. And the
occupation because
F-16
you're at
fighters
war
bombing
with
Gaza
us.
is all defensive.
That's because you're at war with us. Declare peace and it's over. We'll end the occupation
Declare,
tomorrow.
What, you're
declare,
at
Just
war with
declare
declare
peace.
peace.
civilians,
Wait,
Norm?
wait,
Are
wait,
Hold
you
wait,
at
on,
wait.
war
wait.
with
Is
civilians
that
in
what happened in
hospitals?
Oslo? Is that what happened in Oslo when
Why?
we tried doing this peace that you're going for and you shot your fucking prime minister in the face? Is that what happened?
And
No, that
Israel
is not what
started the
happened.
war.
That's not what happened. Who shot him? Was it me? I didn't shoot him. Prince, did you shoot him?
Wait, who's the?
Oh, it wasn't
Look,
a damn
you
Palestinian. It was a
guys are
fucking Jew
from
who shot him.
Egypt.
Hold
We should
on.
go back to
Yes, I'm
Egypt
from
with
Egypt.
Yasser
Yes,
Arafat.
yes. My name is Echo Al
Why?
Masri. I am from
But
Ramses II. I have king
why does
Your
it
Tutsin.
name
matter
is
where
Yes.
he's
what?
from?
What's this new
It doesn't
made
matter
up name?
where he
Yes,
came
my
from.
name is Echo Al Masri. I am such an Egyptian.
Wait,
Yes.
Mike,
wait,
check your
Norm.
back
So
Echo Al
you're
channel.
from
Masri.
Hey,
I'll
Norm,
check you
where
out.
are you from, Norm?
Norm. It doesn't matter, Norm. It doesn't matter. At the very end of the day, you guys are fucking up Kyrie's ass, and Israel fucking
No, we
bombed the
don't
shit
give
out
a
of
shit
poor old
about
fucking
Kyrie.
Tyler.
Kyrie is a
Yes,
good
the fuck you
basketball
did.
player and a
Yeah, so
moron on
when he said
everything else.
that shit, well,
Kyrie
yeah,
believes in a
exactly. You think
flat
he's a
earth. He's a
moron? You think
moron.
he's a moron?
He
And your
should
and your, and
stick
your
to
fucking rabbis in
basketball.
Israel don't call black people monkeys and bomb the shit out of 4-year-old
I didn't.
Palestinian
No, we
kids?
don't call them
Get the fuck
monkeys.
out of
We
here,
just
Norm.
think that somebody,
Who's
he
supposed to
believes in a
take you
flat earth.
seriously? No,
He
who's
believes in
supposed
a
to take
flat
you
earth.
fucking seriously when you let Israel just bomb the fuck out of whoever the fuck they want
If they
because they want
attack,
the entire land of
if they
Palestine. That's
attack,
fucking
the
ridiculous.
response will be very
No, it's
firm.
Wait,
I
I
not. If
have a
promise.
they
question
attack
for Norm.
Okay,
I have a
that's great.
question
I
for
was
Norm.
promised that
Wait a
I could
minute.
speak after
I'm saying something
Patroclus.
really quickly. Israel
Patroclus.
thinks they have some fucking claim to some land that people already fucking live in.
No, we
Like
have
that shit
we
makes no fucking
we're
sense.
there. Listen,
It
you may
doesn't fucking matter
disagree.
what you think you
We're
have.
there now,
People live.
dude.
No,
We
fucking
ain't going
people
You
We're
may
live
anywhere.
there
there.
now.
disagree, but
We're
we've
there
been
now.
there for
Dude, I
That
2,000
that's an
You, I
years.
tell you
argument.
what,
Okay, hold on, hold
we'll
on,
keep
hold
getting
on.
richer and stronger.
Wait,
Hold on. I'm gonna allow Jack and Norm to have this back and forth.
I just want
Nobody
to tell Norm
interrupt.
that
And
he's not rich.
Norm, you're gonna have this back and forth with them. Don't talk over each other.
I
Go
just
ahead,
want to
Jack.
remind Norm that
okay,
he ain't rich.
I'll
If
go
he was
first.
rich, he wouldn't be on
And
Clubhouse
I'll try
Day.
to keep it brief.
Mike.
Because I don't want, I don't have too much to say. But this shit just fucking grinds my gears. You look on the news, you see fucking houses burning, you see old ladies crying, they got kicked out of their fucking house. And Israel's over here fucking high and mighty on their high horse talking about, yeah, no, this is fucking our land. All Jews come the fuck home. We just bomb some old ass lady and let you live in her old house. Like, this shit makes no fucking sense. And then fucking Kyrie Irving, who already thinks the earth is fucking flat, retweets a book and you guys fucking shit your pants. Like, this shit makes no fucking sense. And so you want to sit here and have me take you seriously? Look, I respect everyone, but right is right and wrong is fucking wrong. And you guys fucking bombing the shit out of people that's been living there for hundreds of fucking years that have done nothing to you other than living in land that you think you have a claim to. And even if you fucking do, I don't fucking know. I'm not going to sit here and research the history. But you guys are religion? Do you think it's right to fucking kill people just so you can tell everybody to come home and live in some fucking free housing? Like, that shit makes no sense. You guys make fun of fucking Section 8 people in America that get free housing, but yet you want to
Okay,
tell
I get
Jews to come back.
Jack. I'll
They're
explain it to
not
you.
You see what
religious.
I'm saying?
They're
It doesn't
atheist
make
I'll
sense.
explain
Jews.
it to you, Jack, because you probably don't know how it
I
went. Now
don't
I'm going
need
to
you to
respond, Jack.
explain it to me. I know
Well,
exactly how
you're
it went.
ignorant. Somebody
Why
needs
do
to
you
tell
think?
you what happened.
Norm, you're
Now, okay,
arrogant.
you spoke.
If
I
he's
know what
ignorant,
You
happened.
he's
spoke.
But
Now
arrogant.
it's my turn,
explain to me.
Jack.
Explain why do you
You
Guys,
think
are.
it's
please
right?
Listen
let Norm
closely.
tell
I don't
him.
need a
Let
history
Norm tell
lesson,
him
Norm.
about
Listen
how
closely,
I don't need
Jack,
a
and
2,000 years
I'll
history
ago
explain
the
the
lesson,
whole
Jews
Norm.
thing to you.
existed,
I don't need a
and
history
then the
lesson,
Romans
Norm.
came and
Explain
kicked
to me
us
why you think
out,
it's right.
and
Why you
then
think
the
it's right?
Arabs
Explain it.
made us live as dhimmis, and then 5 Arab armies attacked us. Let him repeat the whole talking points. Yalla, El Normo, go ahead.
The script.
El Normo, yalla. If you want, I can
Norm,
help you out.
Norm,
I
don't
can
waste your
help you
time.
out
This
with
is
the
the most
narrative.
ignorant statement that has ever been uttered in the history of
Hey,
mankind.
hey,
The
hey,
guy
hey,
absolutely
look,
knows
look,
Thousand
nothing
you
about
got
years
the
shit.
most
ago,
ignorant statement.
He's an
Look,
absolute and
you guys are
complete
fucking
ignorant
delusional.
idiot. That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard anyone say in my entire life. Literally.
You guys,
That is literally the stupidest thing. Jack, either commit suicide or read a book. But you don't deserve
what
to live on this
the
planet that
fuck is
ignorant.
wrong with your bitch ass
Wait, who
nigga?
said
Whole
that?
time.
What an
We're
idiotic
there.
statement.
That's why I'm state war. That's why the West
He
Side is
literally,
over there.
by the
Did you
way,
follow that, Jack?
Jack is
yo,
like the most
Any
guys,
questions?
logical one of you bitches.
Okay, I'm gonna let CS go now because he's been waiting
Ja-
patiently. Go ahead, CS.
Wait, does Jack want to respond, or are there any questions?
Jack didn't want a response, so I'll put you in the queue.
Well, I
Let
want to
CS.
make sure he understood what I said because he said he didn't know the history. You
Bro,
I
understand the
never
somebody
history now? Does
fucking
said,
anybody
said,
have any
I
questions?
never fucking said that. Are you fucking serious? I never said I don't. I
Wait,
said I
what
don't
did
need
you
a history
say?
lesson. I said I don't need a fucking history lesson. I said tell me why you think it's right what
Well,
Israel is doing to Palestine. Why do you think it's
okay, I'll
right?
tell you
I
again.
don't need a history lesson.
I'll tell you again why. I'll tell you again why. Because it's our land and it's their land, and it was divided up for them. By the way, the Arabs outnumber us 600 to 1. They also gave to the Arab folks parts of Jordan, parts of Syria, parts of Lebanon. Those countries didn't want the Palestinians, so they kicked them out. So now they only have this little piece of a land to live in
you
on the
literally
West
sound
Bank
like a
and the
Nazi, ya
refugee
Ibn
camps. That's why,
Sharmuta. You
Jack.
literally sound
That's
like a
why.
Nazi. That's what the
Stop
Nazis said
lying.
Well,
about
that's what
Stop
Jews.
lying.
happened. I'm sorry.
That's what the
Stop
It
Nazis
lying.
sounds
said
like the
Stop
about
with your
Jews.
United
Said
revenge
Nations.
nobody
lie.
wanted the Jews.
Stop lying.
The Nazis said
Norm,
nobody
you're a
wanted the Jews,
criminal. You
therefore we
supported
can
This
come
is
here.
criminal
exactly
And
what
states.
that's what you're
happened. There's
saying,
nothing
bitch.
criminal about it.
You're
Look,
a
I don't mean
Nazi.
to
This
raise
is
You're
the
my voice,
honest
but
literally a
truth.
I think it's
Nazi.
pretty fucked up.
Well, what
I think
fact
it's
do you
pretty strong.
disagree with? I just gave you the truth. What do you
Norm,
disagree
I
with?
have
Tell
a
I'm
me.
not
question for you,
disagreeing.
Norm.
I agree with you.
Wait,
Majority of
first,
the
wait a
Hold
second.
on,
Jews
real
Wait
in
a
quick.
second.
Israel, they think
Dude,
like
did
them.
anything I just say not happen? Tell me which part didn't happen. The UN
It's the
No,
partitioned
land.
it.
you're right. You're saying that we are Nazis and the Palestinians are unwanted on that land. You're right.
No,
I
I'm
agree
not
with you.
saying that. I'm
You
saying you got
literally
your
said
half and we
that.
got our half. Now live
You
with it.
literally said that. Normal. I'm not
It's
sure how
You
not
much
got
you
your
There,
educated
half.
on
you don't
No,
have
history.
a
here's what
half
I
to
I'm
literally
begin
not
with,
said.
sure
Norm.
how much you're
Listen
Norm,
again.
you
educated on
don't have a
history,
half to begin with.
I'm
but
gonna
the
buy
Jews
you a
back in
pencil.
Germany
Write
were
this shit
treated the same
down.
exact way by the
What
same
are you
narrative that you just
saying,
said.
El Normo?
Shut the
Literally, the Nazis
fuck
said.
up.
Literally, the Nazis said the
Everybody
Jews.
quiet.
Nobody wanted the Jews. Basta, shut your ass. The Nazis said nobody
This is
wanted
the
the Jews.
UN, not the
This
Nazis. You
The
motherfucker
got
is
your
gonna
Nazis
letters
keep
mixed
said
popping
up.
back
nobody
up.
wanted
Leave
Maybe
the
him.
English
Jews,
is not your
and
strong
we
suit.
can kill them.
Are you having trouble
They
with
said,
English? There's a
Norm,
hey,
you
difference
want to
between
stop
Habibi,
talking
the
Habibi, I'm
down
not.
to
United Nations. The United Nations made this decision, not the Nazis. If you don't know
Put
the
him
United Nations,
What
go
are you
to
talking
them.
down.
about? I'm not even talking about the United Nations. Can I please respond to this bitch ass?
Go ahead, Mike.
Thank you. What I'm saying is, Mr. El Normo, when people used to basically try to hold Nazis accountable, they used to respond by saying nobody wanted the Jews on their lands. They were unwanted in Poland. They were unwanted in the Soviet Union. Nobody wanted them. They were making trouble. They were dominating the culture of Europe. They were taking over the economy. All the anti-Semitic tropes. Therefore, we get to do the Holocaust. And when this guy asked you what allows Israel to kill people who are on the land? You said, well, we both belong on the land, but nobody wanted the Palestinians. The Jordanians rejected the Palestinians. It's history repeating itself. It's the narrative that is literally disgusting when you create
Wait,
othering
didn't King
and you create
Hussein kill
superior
20,000
complicity.
Palestinians in the Black
You're
September
creating.
massacre, or did I dream
Can I
that?
please finish El
Wait,
Normo?
didn't that
El
happen?
Normo,
and
El
why
Didn't that
was
Normo.
happen?
and why are those
You're
Palestinians
creating
living?
superior complicity to the Jews over the Palestinians. And his question was literally obvious. He asked you, what allows Israel to do to the Palestinians who are indigenous? And according to the
Well,
conversation that
that
we
didn't
heard between
happen,
the
so I
dumbass,
corrected him.
the conversation that we heard between the dumbass Andrew and the smart Palestinian man Echo proved that the Palestinians are indigenous, whether you like it or not.
I
Right?
don't
I'm not going to
disagree that
bullshit
you're
with you and tell you.
indigenous. I don't
I'm not
argue with
going to bullshit with you and say,
you're the one
hey,
who's
well,
arguing with our indigeneity. I'm not arguing with
I'm not.
yours.
I never argued with your indigeneity, El Normo. All I'm arguing with is the brutality that the Palestinians are facing because of the policies and the laws of Israel as a government, and because of the majority of the Israeli state, especially the Jews
This is what
who are
happens when you make war on us,
anti-Palestinian.
Prince. This
Nobody
is
Oh
made
my
because you
war.
God.
made war.
Oh my
If you
God.
don't,
What
if
war?
you
He
make
Can
has
you
peace,
name it?
then those
no.
things
As
This
go
is
long
away.
Can
as
you
incredible.
name the
Palestine
war,
has
please?
shrunk since
Can
Israel,
you
the
name
Jews
the
have went
war?
back.
El Normo, name one of the wars that we launched as
The
Palestinians.
War for
Tafadhal.
Independence, the Suez Canal, the 1973
So
war,
that gives
the
you an
Yom
excuse
Kippur
to
War,
commit
the
war
Oh my
crimes.
Intifada.
So
God.
You
that
Oh
gives
lost
my
you
them
an
God.
all.
excuse to
Oh
There
commit
my
were
God.
war
two
You guys
crimes,
are,
right, El
Intifadas.
swear
You
Normo?
lost
to
every
God,
single war.
White Americans are their own fucking breed. The Suez Canal War, the Palestinians had nothing to do with it. It was Israel attacking Egypt and
Wait,
Egypt
you asked
retaliated.
us if which law you
No,
lost, and I
you
just told you. You
but
disagree?
you're
You think you won
literally
those?
picking and choosing wars that Israel started. Like Israel bombed Egypt, Egypt responded back. Suez Canal, Yom Kippur, Israel occupied the Galilee and it occupied the Jordan River. Arab people
Exactly.
decided. And by the way, it wasn't armies, bitch. If 7 Arab armies attacked you, you guys will never stand a chance. It was literally groups of people who decided to go protect their villages,
I can
and you
name the
started
armies.
crying.
I
The
can name
Yom
the
Kippur,
armies.
name them.
He
It's
I
said
in
the
the
dare
Yom
you.
historical
Kippur.
I
That was
record.
dare you to name them.
right?
Egypt,
I
Syria,
dare you to name them.
Lebanon,
Egypt.
Jordan, Saudi
No, no,
Arabia,
no,
the
no. Name the
Palestinian
armies and give me
irregular.
the name of the units. Normal. Name the armies and give me the name of the units. I want you to remember, Normal. I'm not sure how much you're educated on history. Before this whole thing bullshit happened, Israel went unprovoked and bombed the airport, the military airport for Egypt. It bombed all its infrastructure
It
and it
wasn't
bombed all
unprovoked.
everything.
They were
It
massing
was
to attack. You
unprovoked.
know
It
that.
was
Don't tell me
unprovoked.
it was
Well, you can't,
unprovoked.
bitch. Don't look at me like that. Listen, you can't. You literally can't assume something about a people or a nation and go
Hey,
bomb them
do
and
you
say
feel
no,
terrible about the
and
fact
then
that the
go
whole
bomb them and
Arab
say
world
no?
is making peace with us now? We have peace with Egypt, peace with
It's
Jordan,
not.
peace
No,
with
no. It's a
Listen, this
bunch.
guy has
with
Here's
nothing.
what I like.
UAE,
Paid
peace
off
Okay,
with
by
I'm
your
back.
Bahrain.
government.
Prince, I'm
It's a
back.
bunch
Do you
of
feel
leaders
bad
that have
about?
been paid off by
Normal, you
your
can't
government,
Prince, I'm
thinking that
back.
all the
you
Arabs
can't
are
I want to
cool
deflect.
say
with you all
something.
of a sudden.
Ladies and
Normal,
gentlemen,
you
we
can't
got
deflect.
Prince,
one.
You guys listen. This
Hold on.
guy hit
Prince,
me with.
Peace
This
let me
with
guy
break down.
literally
Morocco.
hit.
Before we go, Patricius, I want to let CS talk because he's been. Did he leave? CS, are you there? Aharaya?
This guy literally repeated 7 fucking Zionist talking points. Zionism 101 just to silence me. Like he's disgusting.
Aharaya, CS, are you there? Okay, go ahead,
Okay,
Patricius.
okay, real quick. So just to break down some fake news slash gaslighting that's going on by these Israelis is that they think that the entirety of the world is accepting them. Now, you could say, oh, the Americans are just paying them off. You might be true. But to say that unilaterally there is support for Israel by UAE, Saudi Arabia, etc., that's patently not necessarily unilaterally true. For example, the Saudis recently shook hands with the
It's in black
Iranians.
and white. We made the deal. Open a newspaper.
He didn't land
By
his
the way, the
plane.
United States pays Egypt and Palestine too. Don't forget the United States sends you guys
Do you
plenty of
You
money.
honestly
guys
think?
made a deal with a
Whoa, whoa,
bunch of classless Saudi fucking
Okay,
cockroach eating
so
bastards.
let me
Hey,
finish. Let me
don't
finish,
go
please.
insulting the
Let
king
me
of.
finish. Let
Don't
me
go
finish.
insulting the House of
Excuse me.
Saud, man.
Hold
They're a
on,
good
hold
Excuse
on,
ally.
me.
Norm.
Excuse me. If
Oh,
I
yeah.
may.
Just to insert a comment
Don't
here,
be
right? Hold on,
anti-Arab in this room. I won't stand
hold
If
for
on,
it.
if
hold
I
on.
Really.
if I may please finish.
Yes, but I want to say one thing. King of Jordan recently said in an interview, these peace deals with Jordan, Egypt, and now the Abrahamic Accords, if they've showed one thing, they've showed that they are only deals between governments and that the people have rejected them. That came directly from
That
the
facts,
King of Jordan.
That's
that's
Go
facts,
ahead,
wishful
amazing.
Patricius.
thinking on your
facts.
part. The people
Do
you
you
deal
do
with.
you
Google
have you
it,
seen? Hey,
Norm.
Norm,
Google
Norm,
it.
Norm,
Google it.
Hey,
Norm,
Look what
hey,
happened
Norm.
during
hey,
the World
Norm. Hey,
Cup.
Norm.
I mean, that's
Hey,
all the
Norm.
evidence
Look,
that you
this isn't
want.
Hollywood. Other people get to talk too. Okay, you're not the king here. So what needs to be said is this. Yes, did the color revolutions aid Israel when America was going around toppling leaders in the 2000s and the 2010s? Sure. Did that bring some kind of peace to Israel? Well, I wouldn't call it peace personally. I would say hegemonic power and unbridled access to do whatever the hell they want. Now, that being said, people are rejecting this power structure. They are deviating towards a multipolar
We're
world
on
with
TikTok. Where?
China
In
and
Clubhouse?
Russia. Are you incapable of shutting your mouth and listening for like
I
through
don't
two
think he
minutes?
is. I
That's all
don't
I was
think he is.
asking. It was literally 100 seconds at the most.
Honestly, I don't know why he's allowed to do that. Like he disrupts and we can't hear whatever the person is saying.
Yeah,
Norm,
he
So
has his
Because
Norm.
without
microphone
a
down his
smart
Okay,
Jew in
throat.
the
make
room,
sure
you
to
have a
mute his
boring
fucking
room. You know it,
old
and I know it.
Norm. If you act like a good boy, I'm gonna let you speak after him. Stop
By the
Actually,
way,
interrupting
I
him.
funny
wanted
friend,
to ask,
you
can I have
mute
a
me
turn
and
Voila.
with
then
your
you
mother
leave
when
this
Randy
fucking
is
cunt
done? I
on mute.
forgot to ask that.
Let Patricius finish. Go
خلي
ahead.
خلي الأخ الشرموطة Norm to go pop a pill of fucking Viagra and go fuck his wife so he
Please
can beat
don't
the little
go
sharam
insulting
this
your mother
planet.
like that.
No, go
I take
do it, bitch.
exception to that. I really
Norm,
do.
Norm,
Go
Norm,
help
Norm.
yourself
Can
get
Norm, I
an
have a question
erection,
for you,
we
bitch.
Norm.
just
I
put
have
an
a
end to
question.
this?
I have a question for you, Norm. Um, so do you consider being Jewish as an ethnicity or a religion?
Neither one.
Religion. It's
No,
not
Neither
it's
Neither
one.
it's.
one.
What do you mean neither one?
Damn.
It's either one or the other.
No, it's not
you
neither one
guys
or the
don't
other.
descend from
Neither one
Judah
is your
or
answer.
Oh
Israel.
my God.
I
What
don't
what
He
is
consider
it,
doesn't.
either
Norm?
He's
one.
a khanzir.
This
He's
guy.
a
What
pig.
is it, Norm? What is it?
I'm
You
happy to
don't
describe
descend
it to
from
you.
Judah
It's
or
a
Israel.
nation. It's a family. It's a tribe. It's a people. It's a covenant. That's what we are.
And you don't come
Write it
from
down.
either. You're
Oh my
not
So
God.
Judah.
it's
You're
not
not
a
Israel.
You
ethnicity.
still
You're not.
this literally makes no sense. It's
Uh,
either a nation as in
Which word
you're
did you
a
not
nation
understand?
of
I'll
a
explain it to you.
specific religion
You're a
or it's an
Khazar.
ethnicity. And don't bullshit me. Just give
No,
me,
I
is it a
reject
religion
your
or is it an ethnicity?
European. I reject your European dichotomy. I throw it on the garbage. You're wrong. You don't know who we
Listen,
are.
Well,
I
Listen,
just
it's
told
a
you.
you're
Christian
coming
company.
at me. You're trying to attack me
He'll
without even
reject it
making any
now, but
I'm
he'll
points.
not
use it
attacking you
later.
at
It's a
all. I'm
fact.
giving you the answer to your
You
question.
are the European.
you are a Khazar.
No, we
Your
were
people
never
converted to
Europeans. The
Judaism,
Europeans are
and
Christian. You should know that.
no, not all
Well,
Really?
Europeans.
I
apparently your
thought
mom
Christ
was
was
You
a
had a group of
Jewish.
European
Europeans
Christian and
that
she just
converted to
converted.
Judaism, and they
According
feel
to
like they have a
Haaretz,
monopoly
Norma's mom
on
was a
Judaism.
Christian.
She was a pagan.
Guys, according to Haaretz, Norma's mom was
Say it
European
again.
and she
Say
was
it
a
again.
Christian.
You have
What's
a
that?
According to
group of
Haaretz, your
Jews
bitch mom was
that
a
were
Christian. So,
European that
Hang
converted.
on a second. I've got to wipe off my dick. I'm doing your mom. Give me 1 second, please. I'm sorry.
Shalom,
Okay, you
niggas.
have a
bitch,
group of
you wish.
Europeans that
You
feel
wish.
like they
Look at me,
have the
mom.
monopoly on Judaism. These Jews are converts. Period.
No, I was
They
born
converted.
Jewish. Everybody in my family is
Yes,
born
and your
Jewish.
Yeah,
All of
you
parents,
you.
your
were, but your mom
forefathers were
Right,
wasn't.
but they
converts.
can be born
They're
Jewish.
not
That's
from the
fine. But
Middle East.
He
you
forgot
descend
where
from
his mom
converts.
came from. Now he thinks he's fucking
He
everyone
was
else's
born
mom.
Wahed
Jewish,
bastard.
Listen,
but
you descend from
his
converts.
mom
You're not
wasn't for
bloodline Jew.
sure.
He's trying to get
Jews
us
Was
were
a
on.
nun.
melanated people. You're not
I have
melanated.
my DNA. It goes all the way back to the Levant. It's published. You should go read a book
And
sometime.
you're a
Listen,
proud Zionist.
Okay, DNA,
Of course, I'm a
the
proud
science of
Zionist.
DNA
Every Jew is
is
a
not
Zionist, and
exact.
every Zionist is a
No,
Jew.
not every Jew
And
is a
that
Zionist.
Genetically, it
There,
isn't
there are
and that
Every
and
Jew.
Jews
that's
in New
fucked up
York
Every
right
too.
now that are against Zionism. What do you have to say to this,
Genetically,
No,
Norm?
it's
they're
What
not
do
not.
you have to
exact.
say
He's
to
just
that?
getting
Hold
entertainment
on.
out of this,
Let
man.
let's
Kick
Hold
him
go.
on.
out.
Let's go to New York. Me and you. Let's go and ask them over there. What do you got to
There
say
are
to that?
Jews on
Okay,
He's
this
hold
getting
on.
app.
some
I
Uh,
tell you
twisted
that every
entertainment
Jew.
out.
hold on. Let Alicia speak. Go ahead, Alicia. I muted you. You can unmute.
Okay. I'm sorry. I just came into this room and I heard a lot of back and forth, and I just wanted to probably bring a little peace here and want to understand why is everyone going at each other's throats at the moment when actually when I just came in, I hear everyone talking about the same thing. So, I'm coming in as uh, just a person just intruding on your space, but also like let's not cut throats and like what's going on here. Like let's talk
Alicia,
about
we're
it,
trying
not
to
fight.
we're trying not
Well,
to
when your
provoke
Norm
family is
human
not
rights
being
Norm
dragged
violations.
supports the bombing of Palestinians.
on the
Norm
street,
supports that.
No,
when
I
That's
your
don't.
that's
family
why
is
we're
on the
Oh,
going.
I
street,
only
Supports a
support
terrorist
Yes,
defensive
you do
actions.
because
you
organization
guys,
because
you
called
you're
don't
a
let the
Hezbollah.
Zionist.
Palestinians speak in this bitch. Like, please, let the Palestinians speak. When your family
Carlos,
is not being
Carlos is
killed
talking
in
after
front of your eyes
They're coming from
by an
a
army that
moral
has a
system
nuclear
of
power,
camel fucking
tagged
and
from the west.
assholery.
Wait.
Can you guys hear
That's
me?
Who's
not
fucking
fair. That's not
camels?
fair.
Can you guys
Wait.
hear me?
Wait.
Alicia, when
Yeah,
your
I can
family
hear.
is not killed in front of your eyes, I want to hear you. Come on the stage and say, I want to hear peace and I want
You
to
should try
hear this
being
and
black.
that. Without justice, Miss Alicia, peace can never happen, right? No, let's
I
not
listen.
play
What
oppression
makes
when
one a
You're in the
Jew?
Matrix,
What
Mike.
classify one
we're
as a Jew?
talking
That's my
about
question.
Mike,
Palestine
Mike, Mike, you're in the Matrix.
specifically. And
You're in
he
the
came
mate.
over here, he
Anyway,
said, I
if
hear
there's
your
no further
voices
questions,
when
I'm
I
gonna
literally
go.
wake
If you
up
don't
every
have any,
day
if you don't want to
making.
ask a Jew anything else,
No, I
I'm gonna
got
go.
more
I
Well,
questions
enjoyed your
for you,
Rama,
company.
Norm.
what
Don't go
makes a
anywhere.
Jew a Jew?
I got a few
For the
questions
record, Norm, you're
What
Mike,
you're
I
what
never
makes
muted
proud
somebody a
you.
Jewish.
You were
Jew?
in the
You're
Go
all
Matrix.
back
Go
talking
and
at
ahead.
once. You're
portray
very
your
disorganized.
singular.
Okay, this is no longer popcorn style.
yeah.
Flash your mic. Don't come off mic. Flash your mic if you'd like to speak. Okay, we're gonna go Mike, then Najmi. And no, hold on. I want to give it to Ahraya first because he's been waiting for a very long
I'm
time.
gonna
Then
go.
Mike,
Thank
then
you,
Najmi.
everybody, for your time, and good luck to you. Bye.
Bye, convert.
Bye, bitch.
I
Run,
haven't
ya
convinced.
حمار.
I walked
You can.
away.
All right, go
واحد
ahead,
خنزير.
CS.
No,
Am
you
I
said
alright to speak?
Yeah,
Ahraya.
that's him. That's him.
Okay, what makes a Jew a Jew? What classifies you as a Jew outside of a conversion? What makes you Jewish? Any Jews in the chat or on the stage?
How much of a
Apparently, being a
motherfucker
Jew
you
is
are.
not an
How is that
ethnicity or a
relevant?
religion.
Oh, I'm a mother. Okay, let's not do that.
It's just a
Let's not
question.
do
He
that.
just
Let's
asked
Alicia,
you
are
what
you
makes y'all a Jew.
Jewish?
That's
I'm not, but I'm a believer in everyone that has their own identity and faith in whatever means or medium that is.
Okay,
So
Daniel, are you Jewish?
I would like to think so.
What makes a Jew a Jew? What
You're not
classifies a
Jewish.
Jew as
Damn, homie.
an okay, let me simplify it. What makes you an Israelite?
Oh, he's back. Okay, you can ask the question to Norm.
Hang on, I came back because I forgot to wish you guys Eid Mubarak. That's why I came
Oh,
back.
get the
Sorry, I
fuck out of
forgot.
here.
Go
Eid
go
Mubarak
home,
وعلى
Norm.
الضامن
Go
Eid
back
مرحبا
to
بكم
Mubarak.
Poland.
مالك
Go back to
I am
Poland.
العيد
home.
العيد
Norm,
المبارك.
I
go
am
back to
home.
Poland.
Oh my God.
No,
Thank
I
you
have
for
no
wishing
Go to
us
religious.
the
Poland,
thing
Norm.
your
Okay,
ancestors
this
created.
happens every time a
Poland is a
Bye.
Christian state.
I'm
Bye,
a
Norm.
wait, wait,
My
wait, wait.
homeland
You
is
guys
what
Israel.
Bye.
makes a Jew a Jew?
What
wait,
makes it?
wait.
Because we were born that
What
way.
makes you
What
Christian? What
okay,
makes you
what
Christian
how do you lay
I,
or
claim to being
whatever
a Jew?
religion
Alicia,
you
I
those
was
are
are?
not
born
the
this way.
same.
Alicia,
Alicia,
babe,
come here.
Judaism is an ethnicity. It's not. They claim
Yeah,
It's not an
apparently they're a
so.
ethnicity.
nation. No,
Let
they're
The
him answer.
nation.
they're a
Okay,
nation.
You're a nation.
that's
The
No,
Jewish
so
nation.
no.
The nation of
America
Israel. We're the
That is not,
people of
that is,
Israel. That's who we are. You're never going to separate
Jew-
us.
when they try
right.
to
I
So
mean,
the
Being
you
last
a
say
thing you
all of
said,
Jew
that, and
is
then you go
hold
following.
on,
around
hold
lynching
on, hold on,
Ethiopian
silence.
Jews. I don't
No,
think that you
we
actually
don't
mean
lynch
it.
anybody. We save their
Hold on,
lives.
let's
We
Apparently,
airlifted
being a
them.
Zionist, hold up.
quiet,
Apparently,
quiet.
I'm
being
a
a
Zionist,
Zionist
yeah.
isn't
Shush.
as much.
Let me ask you.
Let me speak,
According to the
bro. Let me
scriptures, no
speak.
shush, shush. According
What?
to
Why
the
don't
Hold
you
That
on.
let
is
a
scriptures,
Who's
black
fucking
who's
woman
rude.
speak?
who's
You're
doing
Chill,
Jews,
that?
Why do
chill,
you have to
chill,
talk over a
chill.
black woman?
the Jews were to
Yes.
be
Hold on. Hold on. Aria, you asked your question. Okay. But we're gonna go to Mike. And then Najmi, then Artsakh.
No, I'm
Am
Mike
I
good.
here?
am I
I'm
still
good. I'm
in the
good.
matrix? Can you hear
No,
me?
that's
you're
not
good.
my answer.
Okay, I was just asking Alicia. No, actually, I'm not asking you, Alicia. I'm asking you politely
Yeah.
that when you want to talk to people who are speaking like because of trauma or something that like I don't think you can ever imagine happened to them, it's really disingenuous and it sounds fake and like super I don't know American to come and say, hey, we need to like hear peace, I need you guys to breathe. Like it's just like annoying. Like I'm
What?
talking about a thing. Wait, let me finish. I'm speaking to you from a perspective that when I wake up every day, I'm checking on my family if they're safe or not, right? I'm checking on my friends if they did not put in prison without any fucking legal charges or anything. If they weren't lynched or kidnapped or burnt alive
Why
or
was I
put in prison
muted? I
I
or
never asked.
totally
raped or
wait, wait,
bombed,
it's
Hold
between me
right?
and Yves. Yes, I totally understand. However, I just came to this chat room and all I was hearing was negative speaking upon a religion, and
listen,
I will
is
not
because
tolerate
I'm
any of that.
black?
You should
That's
They have
listen a
all.
these
little bit
rooms
more.
all
Is
the
it a
Wait,
time.
which
religion?
religion?
Jew
Hold on,
isn't a
hold on.
religion,
It's only a
Alicia.
religion.
Who?
They
My mom taught my
constantly
mom.
have these
Delusional
What
rooms.
about the
feminist.
religion? Which religion?
They
Can you
constantly
Is
prove
it
have
it's
these
because I'm
only a
rooms
religion?
to
Muslim
annoy
and you
Jews.
acting a
That's
fool?
all that these people do is to annoy Jews and to say that
Oh
our
my God!
identity
Look
Alicia,
who's back.
is
Oh
evil.
God.
They
Victim,
get off
victim, you're a
Oh my
victim.
God.
Poor you,
Okay,
poor you.
Who?
Karen.
Allah
They
is
get
not a
off
victim. She's a
harassing us.
Where's
Like
clown.
the
you can hear them doing
anti-Semitism
it right
card? Are you
now.
about to pull it out?
somebody's
They're
harassing
acting
you.
like
Where?
they're
Who?
the
Who?
victims and they're
Let's
Find
pull
the
literally
out the
letter.
harassing us
anti-Semitism
Find
That
the
card,
right
is
now.
letter.
Ola.
Stop yelling fucking
anti-Semitism,
thing.
Ola.
We're
Arabs
all
are Semites. You're being
anti-Semitic.
very anti.
You're not
Like you're
Semitic.
clearly
You're
Victim,
being
you're
being
a
Report
victim.
anti.
us.
very
Delusional.
Nobody's but
yeah anti-Semite.
Ask her.
Stop.
but
Stop.
no,
Who can win?
Ola, shut up. Shut up.
no one is
We're gonna
fooled
go
by you
to
guys.
Move it on.
Ola,
Bruh,
shut up. I'll
Ola,
put you in the
shut
queue.
up.
Shut up.
I won't shut up. This room
I'm
is
I
going
won't
about
shut up
people like me,
because
and
you guys are
you
Okay,
you
spreading the
Ola,
guys
truth.
just
Ola,
lie.
Ola,
You just
listen.
Who's
Here's
lie
the
that,
about
thing.
Tyler?
Jews.
Here's
Who's
the
that?
thing. I can make you shut up. That's the power that I have right now. I can make you shut up. I can make you my peasant by putting you down. I can make you a bitch by throwing you out. I do what the fuck I want to do. Okay? So behave yourself. I'll put you in the queue. Stop interrupting. We're gonna go to Najmi, then Artsakh.
I mean, this is a
This is
stupid premise
literal
for.
anti-Semitism.
Shut up.
All right. Who's
Najmi, go
No,
who's
ahead.
you
that?
can't. You
Who's
don't have as
Literally.
who's a
much power over me as
You're
you
a
self-proclaimed
do.
valley
Zionist on
girl,
stage
girl.
right
You're
now?
a cracker.
You can't.
You're a cracker, Ola. You're a
Who's a
cracker.
self-proclaimed Zionist on stage right now? I want to direct this
this question to them.
I am.
Obviously, Ola.
I'm a Zionist.
Ola? Okay.
Ew.
Absolutely.
So
Okay,
Ew.
hold
all
on.
right, so
Najmi, do you want to have a back and
Ola,
forth with her?
do you recognize the IDF as a terrorist organization that's
No,
gone
I recognize
against
Hamas
the
as a
Human
terrorist
Rights
organization.
Charter?
I
Have you
recognize
realized
Hamas
that
as a
the
terrorist.
IDF has gone against the Human Rights Charter? Have you realized that the United
This
Nations
is
are
all
going after the
false, and I
IDF right now?
recognize this is all false, what you are saying.
How is it false?
She's too
Go look it
fucking
Because you
up
made it
right
serious.
up.
now. Go
Because the
Google
Jews
it,
can never
Ola,
Ola.
do
shut the
anything
fuck
wrong.
up.
You made it up.
No, you're
People
God's
like you
chosen
made it up.
people. God
You are
picked
making
you
that
over
up.
everyone. We're
It's
all
all a
savages,
lie.
You
Ola.
are
Everything you're
making
saying
that
is a
up.
lie.
You have
We're
invented these
making it
things.
up.
Ola, go drink
This
a
is
Can I ask
Pepsi
a
not Jewish
question?
before you
thinking.
electrocute
Listen,
yourself to
hold on,
death,
hold on.
whatever.
Hey,
Okay,
can
we're
we get
making it
some
up, right?
organization in this
Yeah.
room?
Okay, hold on. Now, there's actual evidence that the Fourth Geneva Convention, Article 49, this is everywhere. Go look it up on Google right now.
I'm
This
not
is
looking
being
anything up.
violated. I'm teaching you right now, Ola, because clearly
I
you're
don't need you to
ignorant.
teach me
No,
my
I
Najmi,
will
that's
teach
an
you
history.
because clearly
anti-Semitic
you're
conspiracy
ignorant.
theory.
Please. My
All right?
cousins were some of the founders
Look
of
it up.
modern day
Look at the
Zionism. Don't
United
even tell
Nations is
me.
going
Like,
after the IDF, Ola. So
yes,
how are you
because the
just
United
standing there thinking,
Nations are
How
because
are
the
you
United
Jewish and your
Nations
name
are very
literally means
much
hello in
controlled
Spanish?
by anti-Semitic extremist
oh, there it
minds.
is, the anti-Semitism card.
Yo,
I was
if they're
waiting
too
for it.
critical, they're
I was
anti-Semitic.
waiting
Yep,
for it. There
yep,
it is.
You all know that the term anti-Semitism
yeah.
was
They're
coined
There it is,
anti-Semite.
Ola.
by
This
a
is
Send them
It's
this
send
called
is
them to
German
you.
Jewish
the
This is
person.
what
speak.
you
gulag.
That
guys love to do.
the term
This is what Zionists
anti-Semitism
love to
was
do. The
coined.
biggest gaslighters. You guys are
The term
professional gaslighters. You
term
pull
Wait,
out
wait,
the
wait, wait, wait,
anti-Semitism
wait,
card
anti-Semitism
wait,
was
whenever
wait.
coined.
someone
The term
disagrees with you.
Can you let her
anti-Semitism was
define that?
coined by
It makes her
somebody
feel
that
good to say
specifically wrote
anti-Semitism
papers
5 times in a
hating
row.
on
Ola,
Jewish
guess
Yeah,
what?
people.
We're
you're a
Semites
The
victim.
too.
We
term
Arabs
get
are
it.
Semites too.
Yeah, yeah.
Arabs are Semites
Ola, your
too.
whole
Are we
country was
the
written by
anti-Semitic?
term
racists.
Yeah, Jewish is not the
anti-Semitism
only
comes from
Semite.
Europe and was referring to Jewish people by somebody who is a
Oh my
self-proclaimed
god.
anti-Semite.
We get
The
it. You're a
term's
victim, but
What
if
is a
origin,
our
Semite?
world hates
not the
it,
Oh
term
God.
please
Semite,
go
the term
cry about it somewhere
anti-Semite
else.
has connotations about
Does
being
this bitch not realize that
anti-Jewish.
I can
Go
You
talk
back
guys
to
are
over
Whoa,
trying
Europe.
you
to
whoa,
so you
language
Go
bitches can
check.
back
demonize
to
talk
us,
over
Europe.
everyone
and you're
else?
full of shit.
Okay,
What
here's the
is a
Let's
Semite?
interesting
ignore all
thing
the
about
human
the
rights
Prince.
violations.
Can
It's
I
all
just
And
say
I don't
something
know
really
how
Hold
quick?
up.
anybody can
Hold up.
listen to
I'm
the
not done
tone
with
that you
Ola.
guys
One
take
sec. I'm
me
not done
in
with
this
this girl.
room
One
Okay,
sec.
and
Hold up.
think
Najmi.
Hold
that
up. Hold
you
up.
are the
on God.
victim.
Ola, so
Anybody
Guys, we can't hear each other. I'm gonna let Nejmi and Ola have a back and forth. Ola, stop talking over him.
I
When he
haven't
Ola,
been
when
able to
he's done
talk without
asking
someone
do
you,
you
talking over me,
recognize
so I
Ola,
keep
listen,
talking.
massacres
listen, Ola.
your
When he's
people
done
have
asking you the
committed?
question, answer.
No, I'm not gonna let
Okay,
you guys
let's
just say a
go
bunch of
through the
stuff.
mass. I'm gonna give
You
you a
say the
history
same
lesson
thing
over
Put
your
a
own
constantly.
muzzle
country.
on her,
You
All
say
bro.
right.
the
She
same
doesn't
thing
So
shut
let's
up.
go
constantly.
through that.
I've
Let's go
heard
through the.
all of this rhetoric
Ola, shut
Listen,
the
before.
Ola.
fuck
Let's
You
go
up.
say
through the
the same
history
thing
books. All right.
Hey, one at a
constantly. I've
time, one
heard
Okay.
at a
all of
time.
this rhetoric before. I've
So
heard it
back
all
in
before. It's the
1948,
same
back
thing.
in
You say the same
Oh
things
my
1948,
god,
over
you
and
shut
over
up,
guys
again.
bitch.
Here you
massacred
go
Like,
again.
come
90
on.
You
people,
say the
Prince,
same
move
removed
things
this
them
hoe
over
from
and
down,
over
their.
bro.
again. You
Move
don't
this
engage
cracker
in an
down, please.
actual conversation. You
Oh
don't engage.
God.
Please move this.
So
Okay, Najmi, this is not working. I can't have you dialogue with her. We're gonna go to Artsakh, then I'm gonna give my peasant Ola the right to speak. Go ahead,
don't
Bro,
Artsakh.
call
drop
me
the
a peasant.
cracker,
Ad
bro.
hominem attack cause. It
Ola,
Shut
doesn't
up,
help
you're
listen.
your
my
cause to
peasant.
call me.
Shut your mouth.
It
Shut
doesn't
up.
help your cause to call me names.
Shut up. I don't give a shit.
Ola,
I
you
Shut up.
haven't called
talk way
any of you
too
names.
much. You
Shut
talk
up.
I
way
have
I
too
not
don't
much.
said
All
care.
we
anything
hear is
to
I
noise.
you.
do what I
All we
want.
hear is noise.
The UN is
I am
anti-Semitic.
aware because you don't don't have listening skills. If you were
You don't
actively
have
listening,
speaking.
Ola, I told you you're gonna go after Artsakh. Why
people,
do you continue to speak?
they're
Why do you continue to speak? I'm muting you. Like you're wasting your breath, your energy. Your finger is screaming because you're unmuting the entire time.
I
Like
think
it doesn't work
yourself.
like that, sweetie.
Throw the bitch
Calm down.
down.
Calm down.
Bitch,
Stop being triggered.
bitch,
What's
Very
wrong with
easy.
you? Stop
bitch
it.
down.
Stop it.
Prince, just
I, I,
Okay, Artsakh, go ahead.
I,
Can you move her down for the 30 seconds that I'd like to say something?
no, you just,
I want to see if
you
she's
need to
gonna behave and
listen.
wait her turn. Go ahead.
No, she's already unmuted.
If she won't, I'm gonna move her down. Go ahead.
Okay. So I'd like to speak on Ola's behavior by pointing out Jews think that they're so much smarter than the rest of us, that they know what we're going to say before we say it. And she literally said that she's heard all of our talking points, felt the need to interrupt every single person, then turn around and say, I have not finished a single sentence, because you're in the middle of cutting off everyone else's sentence. I know you guys have the highest IQ, but please humble yourself for longer than 10 seconds to allow somebody to finish their fucking question. Not even a statement they're making. They're asking a question. You won't allow them to finish. This speaks so poorly on behalf of your people. And I've heard multiple times Jewish people saying, I know what you're going to say. You're not smarter than the rest of us. I know you think that you are. Get over this complex that you're better than the rest of us. You're not.
I knew you
Calm
were
the
gonna
fuck
say that.
down.
I never. Well,
They
first
are,
of
though.
all,
They're
if I
God's
may
chosen
respond,
people. You're
Najmi,
if I
go
God's
may
mute,
chosen
respond,
please.
people, right?
I never said I was smarter than anybody in
No, you
this
just
room. I said
act
I
like a
heard.
bitch
I
because
said,
you think
let me
that you
finish.
are. No,
If
I'm
Israel
going
was
to
so
Wow,
listen.
you're
smart,
not
they
I'm
letting
doing
wouldn't
me
need
to
finish.
Bitch
you what you
down.
just did to Najmi.
I never said. I never called you any names. I never called you stupid. I never said any of that. What I
Bitch,
said
you
was I've
won't
heard.
shut up. All you do
What
is
I
talk. You
said
don't
was I have
let
heard your
other people
talking
talk.
points before because you had this room
I ain't
before. You
never
had the
been with a
yeah,
Betty.
Hold on, you were
you
mad at
say
Kyrie
the
Irving,
same
but you let Israel
things.
bomb
You
Palestine, and you
say
said,
the
shut
same
the fuck
things
up.
Yeah,
over
because
and
she's
over
fake.
again. Spam Jews because you know that there's more of you than there are of us, and so we can never actually
Of
like
course, you're God's chosen
have a
people.
You
There's
are
less
You're
the
the
of
chosen
you. God
victim.
people.
favored
You're the
you over
victim,
us
Ola.
because
You're the
I
there's a
never
lot
say
victim.
more
any
of
of that.
us,
You
a
are
lot
the
more
only
of
Your
one
you.
to
family are
say that we're
converts.
the chosen people more than I've
Ola,
ever
your
heard
grandmother
any
is
Jew.
a convert.
I
She
have
converted
literally.
to Judaism.
What the fuck are you
That's the
talking
only reason
about?
you're a Jew.
Your grandma's a
Your
No,
grandmother
convert.
I'm
converted.
not.
Fucking
Like, what the
converted.
fuck are you talking about? You don't know
You're
me.
gang
How would you?
banging for a
Post your
religion that your
DNA. Post your
grandmother
lineage.
converted to.
With what evidence do you have of this?
What evidence do
It's
you
the
have?
link in the
Yes,
title. It's
exactly.
literally the
Well,
link
it's
and the
my fucking life and my family. I think I know
I have a
more
Okay,
about
question.
you
go
than
go
you do.
ask your
You
grandma when
you
she
apparently
converted.
don't know me. You apparently
Go
don't
ask
know
your
me, but you know more
grandmother
about my
when did
heritage
she
than I do.
convert to Judaism.
Is
She'll
I never
tell you.
anyone ashamed of
do
this entire
because I am a
Somebody
descendant of
conversation?
post the
Abraham.
hardest
What the
You
fuck
are
are
This
you
a
talking
ain't
Yo,
no
about?
hey,
descendant of
Abraham,
yo,
Abraham.
girl.
hola,
Hell
hola,
no.
Is
hola. We
anyone
know you
ashamed
guys have
of
been persecuted by
Hey,
Hitler.
but so
Okay,
are
we
they
know you
though,
guys have
because
been persecuted
Abraham
by
is
Hitler.
Isaac's father.
Don't
Wait,
push
what
that.
did
Don't
Don't ever
push
compare
that
Allah
yourself
issue
to
onto
say,
Abraham.
Arab
you
lands.
guys,
That's
Also, they were
between
the
I'm
you
only
not
and
take
ones
Europe.
it
persecuted by
back
Hitler.
to
like you come
Alicia?
here saying that you don't
Take it back
know
to
me.
Alicia.
You shake it,
Why are
I can't believe it. I ain't never seen a ass like that. The way you move it, you make my baby go. Going, going, going. I don't believe it. It's almost too good to be true. I ain't never seen a ass like that. The way you move it, you make my
Guys,
baby go.
guys,
Going, going, going. When she moves, she's like a belly dancer. She's shaking her ass to the new Nelly jams. I think someone's at the door, but I don't think I'm an answer. Only saying freeze. Going, going,
everyone
going. Very
everyone in
quick
this
and
room
nasty.
is
Used to be
what
so
do
anti-Semitic.
you
You
mean,
all admit
freeze?
that.
I go to the movies and sit down with my popcorn. Only saying
Wait,
freeze. Going, going, going.
you're you're learn how to
The way you shake it, I can't believe it.
All right.
So
Good.
you guys are just a bunch of haters,
Hola, just go
and
take
Shut
your
you
up.
meds. You're
basically all
clearly
just
in a
Jew
manic
haters, and you
episode
all
right
hate
now.
Israel,
Go
and you all
go
hate
take your meds.
Jews,
you
and human
are
rights violations are all
you
just
are all
anti-Semitic.
anti-Israel. You're
You're
anti-Semitic.
That's right.
No,
That's
we're
right. Tell them.
anti-Zionists. We're anti-Zionists, and
Of
Can I
clearly
ask a
you
course.
don't
Of
get
course.
question
that.
You know what?
here?
You guys are fake Palestinians. You
I'd
Yeah.
like
fake
to
this
ask a
and
That's
As
fake
question.
right.
that.
you're
You're a
You're
as
Fake
you
fake
you're
don't
Dan.
actually
belong,
American,
you don't
American
right.
belong
You're
in
Palestine.
actually
Palestine. Go
you
back to
don't know
Sister,
who
Poland.
you
not
Go
are.
allow
back to
that.
These
Poland. Hola.
wandering
Go back to
people. You have no
Africa.
idea. You
Can
don't
I
live in
ask Ola a
heritage.
question?
Go
Hola,
back
you
to
don't
where
have a
you
Free
came
country. That's
from.
Israel. Free Israel. Free Israel. Free
Free
Israel. Free
Israel from
Israel.
Hamas.
Israel
Ola,
is
I have a
free.
Free
my
Y'all
gosh,
question.
just
I'm
gotta
Israel.
hold
so
still.
Free
funny.
Israel from
They're
Hamas.
already free.
Free
According
Israel
Oh
to
my
from
what
gosh,
you
Hamas.
I'm the
know,
funniest
Free,
Jewish
free,
bitch in New York.
Free Israel from
there's
Hamas.
free
I
the
shit on
Jews
them
More
from
than
too.
one
Arabs, from
Zionist
dirty
in here.
Arabs.
Free
Can
Israel
we
from
can we
Africans
Zionism.
were
can
the
we stop the bullshit for a second? I
that
got a
Can
I got
we
a
Free the
question.
please
Jews
Ola to
from
go back
the
to
curse
sucking
of the
dicks because
Arabs.
like debating
Ola's
is not
Yeah,
viewpoint.
not
working
gonna
Ola
stop.
has
anymore.
talking points. Free us.
Ola, go back to sucking
Hola,
dicks
hola,
for
hola. Can I ask
$20.
you a question?
Kurt Beige and BJ.
wow.
Ola is a 40-year-old
That's all
virgin.
you
Oh,
have is to
You're
insult
just a
me. Like
failed
you guys have
prostitute,
no
bitch.
actual
That's what you
argument.
are.
You
A
don't have
failed
hola,
any
prostitute.
facts.
hola. Can I ask you a question, please?
Yo, he said
Hola,
failed
Ola, I
prostitute.
know for a fact that you haven't
Has
moved yet.
anyone
I
seen
checked your
Jack's
Instagram.
profile picture?
That's
hola.
actually
Can I ask you a
You're all
question,
literally
please?
just
if
anti-Semitic.
you have a
I'd
problem
like to ask a
with
question to
Jewish
the
faces.
Jews.
I get
Hola, I
that
would like to ask you a question,
for
please.
everybody. I don't
Free the
want you to.
Byzantines, fam.
Trust me, I
What's
don't
your
find it
haplogroup,
Jewish that
Ola?
your
Real
souls
shit.
are
What's your haplo?
your souls are just
See,
corrupted.
B1
That's
como
right.
te
What's your
llama?
haplogroup?
You're trolls.
She is
Are you E1B1,
BJ.
Ola?
She is BJ69
Ola has
See,
been
B
because that's
como
her
te llama?
vaccinated.
haplogroup.
She's
Ola,
indeed.
I swear, honestly, human rights violations are very anti-Semitic, and any accusation against the Israeli state is
100%.
simply anti-Zionism, which is equal to anti-Semitism, right? And you guys are all
Wake
just
it
born-hating
up.
Jews because you're jealous. You're
Violence
jealous.
against the
You're
You're
jealous
Arabs
of the
perfect.
is
Jews. You're
You're
jealous.
anti-Semitism.
perfect.
You're
I mean,
jealous of the
I didn't.
Jews.
Violence against
I
You're
the
didn't
Arabs
say
jealous.
is
You're
that, but
jealous
I
anti-Semitism.
that
guess
the
I
Jews
guess
are allowed to commit
I
human
didn't
rights
say
violations
any of
with
that
impunity.
stuff. But it's
Ola, Ola, if you
that
keep interrupting, I'll have to put you down, and
Yeah, can
then
I finish?
I don't
you can't represent your people.
this
Is that what you want?
trash.
Is that what you want?
This room's a
Okay,
trash premise.
then
It's
here's
Israel.
you're down,
Oh
and
man,
everybody on
Ola.
stage is allowed to shit on you now that you don't know how to keep the order. You don't know how to be disciplined and take orders. What a
What you
bad
doing?
fucking
Delivery?
Can I
prostitute.
shit on her
Feel
after
so bad
iftar
for her
because I don't
boyfriend.
have anything in my tummy
Gonna have to
now?
put up with all her.
Fucking terrible.
Can I shit on her after iftar because it's empty now?
Well,
I
it
ain't
would
trying
be
to shit. I'm just
anti-Semitic.
trying to ask some
I hope
questions
you know
here
that before
about
you do it. It's
the
anti-Semitic.
whole state of Israel.
You
Like,
can
I
Wait, is
think
tell
it
it's
Ola
important for
anti-Semitic
us to
to
address
shit
that.
on a Jewish
Chala.
girl?
Hey, we gotta
You don't
stop
want
Yeah,
to
being
do that.
mad at
instantly.
Israel, man. Israel
Let's.
didn't do nothing
I don't
wrong.
want to get kicked down.
The
How was
Israeli
Israel
state.
Ola,
even acquired? When was
Ola, you need to
Israel
relax on the
acquired?
matzo ball.
I think
Israel
those questions are
Israel
important.
been around
The
since
true
Egypt.
Jews are what we call the Africans, the Native Americans, and the Hispanic people, right?
I
You could simply
disagree.
look at Deuteronomy, right,
I
and,
disagree.
and, and find this to be a fact.
Hell
And,
no,
and
bro.
and anyone who says anything differently is anti-Semitic.
Hell no, bro.
The
How
Hispanics
was
and the Native
Israel
Americans
acquired? Very simple
Israel,
are
question.
Israel,
precursors to the
first of
Jews.
all, wasn't acquired. Israel was given and
Are you sure
created
about that?
out of
It
thin
wasn't
Yes,
air.
acquired
I
I mean,
during
mean,
World
by
it
the
was
War II.
acquired
British.
by
By
war.
the British.
It was acquired by war,
listen,
right?
listen. We can point to how West Africans had some type of connection to the Jews,
We're
but
not
how
Wifey,
talking
can
about
how
you
was
any
your
show me
mom
blacks.
the
acquired?
Hispanics and the Native Americans were Jews? That's what I want to know.
You know how your parents tell you you're disrespectful for disagreeing with them? That's sort of like Ola.
So
Yeah,
going back to the whole
facts,
Israel was given,
facts.
You didn't
was
answer my
Israel
question.
given by the Palestinians?
No,
I
it
don't
was
think they
taken.
gave away their land.
I
wait.
mean, to be
You know
fair, they
what? I
kind of
got my
Israel was kind of
tinfoil
there
hat.
first.
Let's jump into this.
They said no to
Was
the flag.
Israel there first? If they
Yeah,
became a state in
Acco-
1948?
according
That
to
doesn't
Wake
make
history,
that
like
sense.
up.
listen,
according
according
to
to the
history, like when you
scriptures,
deal with like
Israel took the land from Canaan. Right or wrong?
when you deal with the Moab, still it mentions Israel and it lands it in Canaan, so it's been there since
Right.
Yeah, it's a
Israel
fact.
took
since
the
that
land from
time.
That's
Canaan.
a fact.
Period. Point blank.
Ola, if you're gonna behave, put it in the chat that you're gonna behave, and I'll bring you up.
Man, I
So
want to
Otherwise,
say
you can stay
something.
in the
1948
audience.
was when they
You know what's
incorporated then.
really
That's what we're
sad? You know what's
I
really
guess
sad?
Do
You know what's
you
really
1948
sad
is
though?
when
like?
they took it
Different
back.
Seeing
from
Wait,
the
wait, wait, wait. Do
ancient
we
pre-Jewish
understand really
Jews.
like the
Okay,
Jews
hold
doing
on. I'll be
crack?
back. I'll be back shortly. Mister here is gonna moderate. He's gonna keep the queue and the order. Listen to him. Or otherwise, he's gonna
let
goo you. All
Let
right.
Evis moderate.
Yo, do
Yes,
we
please give
understand
me
that
mod.
Give him
Hello.
mod.
that
Give him
Israel
mod.
comes and says, "Hey, you
Nobody's
still
getting
Israel
No,
2,000
mod.
no.
years ago"? So and that's what
Mister, I'm
that's
just gonna mod shooter here,
Give me
so
mod. I'll
you two
apply.
can mod
Give
together.
Yves
All right.
mod. Give Yves.
All right.
yo. Imagine going back to your great 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 grandparents' house and saying, "Hey, my great 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 grandparents used to live here. I think I deserve to live here now. Get the fuck out before I kill you."
Okay, but the
I mean, I think
the
that's fair though,
Ashkenazis don't have claim to that
Yeah, but
land.
they
So what
talking like
makes them
2,000 years ago,
because
grandparents,
this
not
my
like
grandparents'
okay? But
fucking
the
house.
Ashkenazi Jews don't
Yo,
have
what the
claim to that
fuck?
land. What are you talking about?
No,
It's
even if
just
they
based
did, it
on
would be
religious
completely
text.
ridiculous. Like
This
we
is
like
my
this is not
grandparents'
something we
fucking
can
house.
do.
Claim to
You
This
that.
that
Gonna
is
get your
literally
land.
ass up and
called
get the
ethnic
So
fuck
cleansing.
out.
how are they
Telling
justified
people
in
to get the
killing the
fuck
people
out,
that
that's
live
called
on that
ethnic
land?
cleansing, you know?
My grandparents stopped paying rent and got evicted, but I'm back here to claim this shit.
I
Get the
mean, if
fuck
you
out.
got evicted, that's different. But if you took it, if somebody
Right.
came and
It's like
took it, that's different.
exactly. It's like your grandparents gave the bike up and somebody owns the bike and you want to come 2,000 years later and say that's my bike.
You know
So
what's really
basically,
Yeah.
sad though?
so
You know
basically,
what's really
basically
sad?
Israel
Hold on.
is just a depot.
Can I just
I
yeah,
wouldn't
explain
low
the
say.
key it is
why
Debo.
the Jews that were displaced? It's because a lot of our history has 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 been over the course of like slaverism. So the Babylonians, the Mesopotamians,
That
everyone
Irrelevant.
that was
that
there.
wasn't the Ashkenazi Jew.
No, no.
It
Can you
wasn't.
hear? Can you hear me out? Because it is. Because
No,
it
it
stems from
wasn't.
northern Africa. Okay, or okay, what? What do you have to say?
I
It
mean,
wasn't the
Ashkenaz has
Ashkenazi
always
Jew.
been in
We
question.
can agree that the Jews have been persecuted, but the
No,
Ashkenazi
no,
Jew specifically has
but
not been
uh,
persecuted to that same extent.
but
Never.
the origins of the Jewish.
Alicia, listen.
Listen,
Palestine
you
basically
might
said,
have
look,
been a
Why do you
descendant of
listen, you
someone
stop?
guys
who
are coming for
converted
your,
to
Wait.
Judaism, but you're not a bloodline Jew,
Palestine,
is the point that I'm
Palestine
making.
basically says,
I don't have to be a
Palestine basically
bloodline
says,
Jew to understand or where our
And I'm not saying
cultures
you
and our
do.
religion
I'm
comes
not
from.
saying you
What the
do, but what
fuck
I'm
does
saying
that
is
mean?
today, many Ashkenazi Jews try to hold the monopoly on what it means to be Jewish or what Judaism
I
means.
am
And they
purely
go as
talking
far
about
as to
history.
persecute
I
the
am talking
Ethiopian Jew
about
Yeah,
who is the
one at a
where
closest.
time.
Hold on, hold on, hold on.
origins
I'd like
come
to
from.
listen, listen, love. I'd love to make my
No,
point,
I
and
don't
I'm
need.
not trying
Don't
to be
call me love.
disrespectful.
Don't call me fucking love.
I would love to just make my
I'm
point.
Hey,
Okay,
specifically
you
yo,
know,
mod,
okay,
talking
like, take
about.
Hey
control,
man,
mod.
if
it
that's
ain't
how you
that
feel,
deep.
right. It's not that deep, but I would just like to make my point. I'm not trying to offend or I'm not trying to put anybody down. But the point I'm making is the closest thing to a Jew is the Ethiopian Jew. Okay? Now, when
No,
you have a group
that is
of
actually very untrue.
Ashkenazi
One voice at
Jews
a time,
who,
one voice at a time.
I listen,
You can
give me
keep on
30,
going,
give
sir.
me 40 seconds. Give me 40 seconds and I'll make my piece and I'll be quiet.
Hmm.
Listen, Ashkenazi Jews try to have
That's what I
to
told
make
her.
they try to make a monopoly. They try to create this type of monopoly where we're Jews, and if you can't prove yourself to have the same genes as us, then you can't be a Jew. Listen, the Ashkenazi Jew is a convert. Period. Point blank. History attests to it. Okay, so
Please,
anybody who
can you please explain
okay,
more
listen, let me
about
finish
what
my
you're
point. Let
saying?
me finish
Can
my
you
point.
can you just go deeper into what you're saying so I can understand?
You want me to go deeper into what I'm
Yes,
saying?
yes.
She wants you to go deeper, sir.
huh?
Yep.
Okay, well,
Get in there
Connie
and do
is
your
I
asking
thing,
don't,
to
please go
go.
man.
No,
longer than
I don't,
40
the
I don't,
reason
seconds.
I don't
why
think
I
she
only have
has
40
any.
seconds. Do you want me to
wait.
go
Let my
longer
Let
than
man
me
40
let
rock.
me
seconds?
just
Nephew.
say the reason why I want you to
Would
go
you like me to
deeper
go
is
longer than 40
be,
seconds? Because if that's the case,
because
Yo,
then we can go
come
there
on,
deeper.
y'all
are
going longer and
many
deeper. Like,
religions.
let's just, come on
Oh
now.
my gosh.
Yes, no?
There are many religions
You,
that have many multiple reasons and outputs,
Listen,
times,
according to the scriptures,
centuries of
the
time
Jews were
centuries of how
scattered
they've
across
existed.
the entire world. So for Ashkenazis to think that they have some type of a monopoly on being Jewish, and furthermore, for them to believe that European Jews are like the gold standard of what it means to be Jewish is just absolutely incorrect.
So
Because the when you look at it historically, the Khazars, which is what this room was initially, discussed about, the Khazars were European converts who converted to Judaism. Right now, does that make them any less Jewish? No, because according to the to Torah, you treat
The Torah,
any
yeah.
convert the same way you would treat a regular Jew.
No,
Okay,
So
no, no, no,
I have
no.
for
a
you
Pass the rock
another
to me.
to,
question.
Pass the rock to
to
me.
hold on
Hold on.
monopoly points.
Ashkenaz, hold on. Ashkenaz was a man documented in the Torah, right? He
Of
descended from
course,
a man named Gomer, not
yes,
not not Israel, aka Jacob. So
right,
it's
but
literally in the Torah that Ashkenaz came from Gomer, not
agreed.
from Jacob, whose
But
name was changed to Israel. So therefore, they are not bloodline peoples, and there
they,
is no converting to
But
blood.
we got to keep in mind that
I 100%
their
agree.
story is they lived in the land of Ashkenaz, so they call themselves
Right, and I
Ashkenazi
Oh
100%
Jews.
my
agree. But when you
God,
look at
this
the
is crazy.
Exodus, you had Egyptians who left with the Jews who identified and converted to that religion, right? So
But
when you
Egyptian
history
what
with the
women,
Jews, they
the
allowed
women,
outsiders to
Oh
convert,
my God, what the
not
fuck?
men, but the
No, he's
women were
right,
taken.
Alicia.
How
He's
is
right.
what? Oh,
right? Like they allowed outsiders to convert. Now
No,
they might
no. That no. Hold on. They did not. They did not. If an Israelite man took another woman, those children would fall under his lineage. That's what happened in Egypt. And going back, somebody said, how are Native Americans uh, Jews? Well,
They
if you
not.
just
They not.
read
They not, bro.
if you just read a
but
little bit, you see that they hold on. If you read in the book by James Adair called "The History of the North American Indians," held by Brown University, right? He clearly states in there that they kept customs, right? Like the new moon, they called their god Yahweh, right?
bro,
And they never
there were
and they
hundreds of Native American tribes.
stop cutting him
yeah,
So
off.
yeah, not yeah, yeah.
so
I'm not
That's
talking about
exactly
all of
what
them. I'm
they
talking
said.
about the certain set that he spent 40 years
okay,
with in peace, documented, right? Not
I
just that,
agree.
but their language what that they spoke was Paleo Hebrew, Hawata,
Listen, bro, I
Kwasha,
agree with you.
Abba, God, yeah, all of that.
They
So
didn't speak that.
yes, they did.
No,
Yes,
they
they
didn't
did. If
speak that.
matter of fact, I'll give you that Black Americans was told our ancestors said, right? The
Yeah,
whole
massa.
American slave trade, yeah, masa, which means oppressor in Hebrew, right? And then also kumbaya. It's not some African language. That's ancient Hebrew, kwambaya, or AKA rise my Yah,
Yeah,
rise
but
my
the
power.
Native Americans to
Yeah.
me is like totally different.
Nah, it's no. These claims that
They
Israelites are
not
making
different
are
at
actually
all. That's us,
Yeah,
actually
bro.
they
actually
because they
true.
actually
Yeah.
migrated from Siberia. They didn't migrate
No,
from
no, no, they did not. No, they did
Yeah, they
not.
did.
That is
They
a
No,
did.
bunch of
That's
no, they did
cap.
bullshit.
not.
That's
No, they
They
did
cap,
not.
bro.
did.
They was already
No, they did
there.
not.
DNA tests have been done and
No,
seen
no, no,
how
no,
closely
no.
related they
DNA,
are to
SPNA. Hold on, hold
Neanderthals.
on, hold on, hold on, hold on.
That's
Listen,
true.
the original people of the Americas, North, Central, and South, were Afro-haired, brown-skinned people of
Right, but that's
various,
not a native. That's
various.
not a
Hold
Native
on, hold on,
American.
hold on. Various hues. Right, exactly. So I'm talking about indigenous.
Oh,
So let
okay,
me be
okay.
clear. The indigenous Americans, the first contact that the Pilgrims met over here and James Adair lived with, were brown-skinned, kinky-haired people who happened to straighten their hair during ceremony. They kept land Sabbath. They kept the Sabbath, new moon ceremonies, and they would. He wrote down in his book. You can read it for yourself. They would say Alleluia and Yahweh, and they revered the Holy Spirit, which they knew as the divine feminine, aka the Holy Mother. On and on. There were so many things that they did not
Yeah,
need a
no,
Bible for.
listen,
They
I'm
didn't
not
have a
disagreeing with
Starbucks.
any of that. My issues with the Europeans' monopolization of what it means to be Jewish or Israel. That's my issue.
Yeah, you know what? My
They
bad. I went off on a tangent. Go
they
ahead, bro.
act as if you're somebody of color, there's no way on planet Earth that you could be a descendant of Abraham, Isaac, or Jacob, when the reality is those folks who descended from Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob were melanated people. And it wasn't until the 7th century where you had Khazars who converted to Judaism, who monopolized that religion and entered
None of
into
this is
Eastern
true.
Europe.
Yeah,
No, it's a 100% true.
It's
It's
great, but it's all
100%
Ola,
made
true.
up.
shut up.
Okay, you have the
No, it's just
Kagan.
Wait,
just you made it
Listen,
all up.
listen.
Wait, we're not telling
History. I
anybody
didn't
to
make
shut
any
up
of
in
it up.
here.
Yeah.
All
History
right,
Come
attests
on,
to
Hey,
exactly
OJ.
what I'm saying.
Be a
Yeah, the
good
only
Okay,
girl,
the
so
only
can you
Pope.
break?
you
It's
don't have to
great,
like
but
it.
Can you
it's
break down
Listen,
not.
you
why?
don't have to
Can you break
like what
down why they
I'm,
converted?
but history attests
Hey,
to
can you? Hey,
everything that
hey,
I'm saying.
bro.
It's
Can you break
literally just
down?
made up.
Hold on. Can you break down why the Khazars converted for us,
I
The
want to
please?
say
Okay,
they
Khazars
so
did, y'all.
didn't
I gotta.
convert. It's a false
I can do that
document. It's
Yeah,
perfectly.
that's
not
not true, y'all.
real
That's
No,
really
history.
that's
not
not
true.
true.
They did. They were between the Caspian Sea. two
Listen,
kingdoms
That's
that
not
were
true.
religious.
Okay,
listen.
They were
pointing out where
religious
it is
based
on a map when
kingdoms.
it's a fake thing that happened. It's like reading C.S. Lewis, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe,
Would
and
you
being like,
guys
yeah,
like me to pull
why
up
did they go
No,
through the
it's
wardrobe?
not
Like,
like
let's
that.
Hey,
take
It's
it
not
Rachel,
one
like
step.
Rachel,
that,
read
Ola.
my
It's
read.
what?
not like that.
Hey,
Let's
Rachel,
talk
follow
about
me
Aslan.
and read
Like,
my message in the back
talk
channel.
about
Rachel,
this
relax.
talking lion. That's like, come on, like
Would you
you're
like me to
literally
pull the
you're just
sources?
repeating something that is fabricated and has been
That's what
proven
you're
to be
doing.
fabricated
No, it's not
over and
Ola,
fabricated.
over
It's a
stop
again.
source.
gaslighting,
Like,
Ola.
Ola,
I'm
you
a
inherited
I'm
source.
not
lies.
gaslighting. Do you want
Ola, you've been
go
misled.
and do some
Ola, you've been
actual
I'm
research?
gaslit.
citing a
Stop
source,
believing what you
sweetheart.
see
Hey,
on
Ola's
these
kind of
freaking
right now.
like angel fire websites that are like
Sweetie,
You in,
I'm
whatever. You
citing a
take them
source.
and
you
run
Yeah,
with
she
it and
inherited
telling
be
the truth,
lies.
y'all.
ridiculous.
No, she inherited lies. She don't know it, but
Sweetheart,
her
I
I
wouldn't.
parents
No,
lied
I
to
wouldn't.
her. Her
can
parents'
I
parents
Yes.
cite
lied
the
to
No,
her.
source
I
for you?
didn't. I
That
literally
part.
got a
No, she
genetic
didn't.
No,
profile.
no. Go
Oh, I
get
I
your
know,
Yeah,
honey,
man,
latte.
am
she didn't.
Go
more
to
No,
I
she
know,
didn't.
I
Starbucks and
know it
stuff.
ruffles
related.
your
I'm
feathers.
more related
Believe me, I
genetically to
know.
Mizrahi Jews than
But
any
I
Yeah,
can
Europeans.
but
cite the
I'm
Yeah,
you
who are
couldn't.
more
related.
related to
But you
black
can't
people
spend
too.
half a day in the sun. Shut the hell up.
Yes.
That's
Hey,
right.
What
look,
are
we
you
we
talking
Okay,
about?
Tell it
hey,
like
Like
it
we
I
let me
is.
cite
literally
the source for you.
I lived in Kenya for 2 months. I didn't even
Oh
get
yeah,
birth
with a big
control.
ass with a
In
big
the air
Like
sombrero.
conditioning.
you're
How
hey,
literally
much
look,
With
air
a
we know
conditioning are you
sombrero.
whether or
you
talking
not
guys
she's
are
about?
a Jew.
Kenya.
you
Let
guys
me
are
cite the
I
like
source.
lived in
Yo,
white
someone
Kenya.
and
shut her
you're
up.
I,
just you're white and
Thank
you're
you.
just sad
I
that
lived in
you can't
Kenya.
be tan like me. I think that you're just the white colonialists. That's the problem.
Can I
You're
cite
just
my source,
colonizing this
please?
conversation. You're colonizing my religion and my
You're
ethnicity
a
and my
colonizer.
nationality.
Stop it. Let me cite my source.
You're just like white
Wait,
people trying
Ola,
to
I got a
rewrite
question.
the
Not the
Oy
dialogue.
vey.
Israeli
Because
claiming that they're
you are
colonizing
pushing white
them.
supremacy, so you
Oy
may as well
vey.
be
And you
white.
guys
No, white
know, do
As
you
a
know
supremacy.
mod,
why
as a
they're
mod, I want
called the
everybody to be
lost tribes
quiet.
of Israel? They're called the lost tribes of Israel because they're supposed to be in Ukraine and they're in Palestine. They're lost, thinking that Palestine is Israel. Ukraine is the true Israel.
What the hell
Nah,
are
Believe
you
it
nah.
if you
The,
want
talking
the
to.
about?
lost tribes was
What
in
the
the
fuck are
Americas.
you talking about?
Yo, they was in the Americas the whole time. That was the whole reason for white people coming over here.
Lies,
Find the
What
lost
are you
tribes
lies.
and they
talking
found them.
Hey,
about?
that's a
Yeah,
lie.
yeah.
That's a lie
It's
You're
a,
too,
literally
bro.
this
like
the
making
land of
What?
stuff
milk and
up. You
honey.
sound
The
Hey, can I
crazy.
Americas
cite?
is the land of
You're
milk and honey.
weird.
Right. Can I cite my source or what?
Pearls and gold, milk and honey.
These
That's
are
America. The
these are no.
Americas.
You
Let me
do you
Nah,
cite
you
my
guys
don't
source.
realize
believe it.
how
Don't
dumb you
believe that,
sound?
bro.
Like this is so
Yeah, don't
You
believe
ridiculous.
that,
sound
bro.
dumb denying the
Like
K's
Nah,
like
are
nigga,
intelligent.
I've been
like
studying this shit for
Talking.
8
you no
years.
like
8
I
you
know,
you
years.
but don't
want
I know what
you
believe
the hell
that.
I'm
want
talking about.
so
We're
badly.
Nah, don't
scholars,
believe that. Because
Ola.
when you look
You
at
You
just
don't
want
DNA,
sound like
so
a
badly
scholar,
for there to
Ola.
be
Listen to
these
me,
Jews that you can
Kazar.
just
Yo,
I have my
blame
don't
sources.
for
nobody
everything
say
in
a
the
goddamn thing about
world.
DNA. Leave that shit out.
no, you don't leave
You
out
just have
DNA
this.
because if you
You
have a
just want.
kid, you go to see
Bro,
whose
no,
kid it
hold
is.
on. For DNA to
Hold
be
on,
in
wait.
this
Let me finish my point.
conversation, for DNA to
Guys,
be in this
you just
conversation, you
you
need
We've
to
just
been
hold
talking
on.
want
about DNA before you came in
Okay,
here.
no, but you got to dig up relics. You got to dig up old bones of
We
confirmed quote
have,
quote people
we
from the
have.
tribe. No, hold on, people from the tribe of Judah who
Man, no,
descended from the
we've dug
who
up,
I have
we've
descended.
dug.
Hold on,
sources, but
who
Kazar
descended
won't
from the
let me cite.
man who descended from the man
No,
named
that
Judah
ain't how
or
DNA work.
like
Yahweh.
I have Cohen DNA. Like you don't have Cohen
Bro,
DNA
you
unless
did
you
Yeah,
not
are
descend from a
descendants of
black man
Cohen.
named Yahweh. You didn't.
no,
You're not from Judah, so you're not a Jew. Stop it.
if she got Cohen DNA, she descend from Aaron.
That part.
She from Poland.
It wouldn't be Judah. It'll
Or
be Aaron. But the
Levi.
DNA is
No, no, it
real,
would
bro.
be Levi. She don't descend from Levi.
Yes, but are you
Yeah, Aaron is a
unaware
son of
that when
Levi.
during the that
Exactly. Yeah.
are you unaware that the tribes started intermarrying within each other and we've all
And
taken on
that's
the
what I was
name
trying to get to,
Jew
bro.
or
We've been
Judah?
mixing with each
Like
other for
we've
decades, bro.
taken on
No.
that name.
No.
It's
No,
no,
hell no, no,
it's
no. Because in
exactly what happened.
The Torah, the Torah
Yes, yes.
says, all
Our
No,
right, yeah,
history
no,
yeah.
continues
Nah, hold
after the
on,
bro.
Torah.
We went into Egypt 70 and came out
hold on.
70,000. So we was fucking. Everybody was fucking.
Listen,
So we not
no,
gonna look
they,
the
no,
Yeah,
same.
no,
like
they, no,
we're all
no,
kind of
wrong.
look,
Yo,
we
We
the
are
don't
not
Torah,
gonna look the
the
same. And
Torah
after we
says,
left
hold on,
Egypt,
hold on, hold
we
on, hold
did
on,
more
hold on.
fucking.
The Torah tells us that the spirit, their spirit, will bear witness in the times
Nah,
of
you can't.
confusion.
You
Hold on, hold
can't
on,
look at it
hold
like
on,
that,
hold on.
bro.
No,
yeah,
no,
I
that's what the Torah.
okay.
Hold on.
What
That's
does
what the Torah says. So what
Right.
does that
But how
mean?
you
Hold
try?
on, hold
But
on.
how
What
you
is that?
interpreting
What?
it?
I
No,
will
hold on.
tell you.
What does that
Okay.
mean? No. That means look at how they treat everyone else. Look
Nah,
at how
that's
they.
not how it
Hold on, no, no,
means.
no.
Okay.
Their
Yeah,
So
but
spirit.
no,
Hold
man.
on.
But
you
no,
can
man.
literally talk
There's.
about
Hold on. Their
That's not
spirit
how
is
it.
not.
That's not what it's
No.
China.
saying,
Look
bro.
at how they're treating the Palestinians. Look at how they run the world. Look at
We
how they
trust
treat nature.
Yeah, but no,
Their
this
man.
is
their
No,
all
one
spirit.
people
second.
Killing
had.
All
No,
right.
man.
Palestinians.
Th-
We are
This
not
is
doing the
false.
JQ in here. We're not doing
Like
the JQ. I'm not trying to have this room shut down. We're not doing the JQ.
Yeah, yeah. But the thing is, she's trying to
Ola,
fall
you
back
can
on the.
go. Ola, do. Ola, do you want to go?
Yeah, I will
All right,
go.
Ola go, and then it's gonna be
But Mister,
Okay.
Matt.
quickly, just before she
I
speaks,
would
yeah,
love
she
to go.
keep falling back on the Cohen gene and
I
the
didn't keep. I said it
people.
once.
Wait, hold
I
on,
said it
hold on.
once.
1 second. The people that have the highest amounts of the Cohen gene are actually the Lemba tribe in South Africa.
Yeah, that's
Okay, well,
fine,
the
but she
Lemba
still
tribe
got the
might
gene.
also be related to us
Well,
because
I'm not saying she
you
doesn't.
Damn.
I'm just
wait,
saying.
you okay,
I mean,
so
she
you
has the
understand,
gene though, man.
hold
We
on.
can't
I
go
want to
against
make
All
it.
that
sure.
is
She has
She
no
bullshit
got
ass
clue what she's
science.
talking about.
bro. We be
Okay,
dissing our
so
own people because they
when
look different, bro. That's not
right.
cool,
Bro,
bro.
Okay, I'm gonna
With all
bring
due
some
respect, I'd
sense
like
to
to
this
address the
room real
Kazar.
quick. I'm gonna bring some sense to this
I
right
made a
now.
Kazar
Okay.
claim. I'd like to address it with all due
I
respect.
didn't get to say anything. You guys said I was.
You can speak, but just give me 2 seconds because let's clarify some shit right now. Okay. When someone presents evidence, when it counters your evidence, okay, please critically engage with it and
We
do
can.
not.
You're in the Matrix.
You're
I can't
cutting
hear
I
out.
you.
You're
said
in the
crit.
matrix, Black. Restate
Do you hear
yourself.
So
me?
so
Yes,
what I'm
restate
saying
yourself.
is okay, when it comes to different populations, there are people that could have been related to us that are related to us, but their tribe branched off and became something else or they intermarried or something.
Why do you have to
That's
say
totally
related to
possible.
you? Why is it that you can't be related to them?
Why do you
It's
hold the
the same thing
monopoly?
cuz saying that is the same thing and I think you know that you're just being argumentative.
No, saying it is not the same thing because the difference is that you identify as a Jewish person and these South African people don't identify as a Jewish person. The problem is that
Are there any
what
people in the Lemba tribe here today to like
let
speak
me
for
let me
themselves?
I
let
am
me
from
land
the
let me
limit.
let me land let
Yes.
me land let me land let me
No,
land
I mean cuz
please.
I mean I
The
have
problem
friends in
that
the Lemba
first of
tribe,
all
so
you're just
please.
I
you're
have
just
friends.
gaslighting at this
I
point
do.
I'm
because let's get to the actual facts.
The
Okay,
actual
first of all,
fact is that
we're
Ola,
on a
shut the
Western
fuck up.
app. We're on a Western app, and there's a privilege that comes along with us being able to talk about this on this app. And there's also a privilege that comes with having the ability to say that you are Jewish, okay? There
because
is a privilege that
historically
comes with no, no, no,
Let
no,
her
no, no, no,
finish.
no, no, no.
historically
Let
I
me
never no
finish.
you
Let
keep
Let
me
saying
her
I'm not letting
finish.
you
finish.
talk and
Ola,
you don't
stop doing
talk.
your
So
shit.
no,
let her
I don't
finish.
really
Why can't
you're
you
gonna
just
move.
listen?
I'm
Why
not
is
letting
No,
it
you
you
she's been
have
like
you
this.
say
She's
you don't
been
want to
like
be
this the entire day.
argumentative?
No, Black, she's been like this the entire day. She's so fucking annoying.
the
This
entire
is
day.
She
really
cuts
weird.
she cuts
Why
you off
is it
mid
why is
sentence.
Been
it
like
why
5 minutes.
is it that we're talking about in the Canaanites and ancient people, right? We're talking about ancient populations who regardless I don't want to get into religion, okay? Let's
You're
just like
talking about my
throw religion out the door
you're
and
acting
just say that there was a
you're acting
group
like
of people
on my
there
people.
were a group of people at one point in ancient
What gives
history who shared
what gives you the
who
right to talk?
shared a collective amount of
What gives you
DNA
the right?
because they were around the same time period they were alive and their genetics spread across the globe. Now,
Ola, stop it.
explain to me a phenomenon like that. Yet
Judy
there's one group of
Judaism is
people.
not
You said that they
Shut
Judaism is
up.
you
not a
said that they intermarried. I'm
Judaism
sorry,
is not a
mama.
race.
Yo, move
It's
her
a
down.
Sorry,
Move her
tribal
mama.
down.
I
She
want to
Ola,
won't
keep it a
stop
stop.
it.
it's
buck.
Move
a
her down.
tribe.
I want to keep
It's
it.
not
Yeah,
a
I'm gonna
race.
move her
I'm
down
answering
because
your question. It's
Hey, Ola.
she needs to chill out. Because let's
No,
get to the
she's
buck.
clearly manic. She needs her med.
She's mad. Let's get to
Ola,
let's
stop
keep it a
it.
buck
Go
100.
ahead, Black.
A South African tribe just scientifically has more is way more closely related because the cradle of civilization happened in Africa. Do not try to be combative about that.
Mm-mm.
Than a
In America.
European woman. So why is it that
The
for
Levant.
you to state that the reason why you guys share the DNA or the genetics is that one intermarried and the other didn't intermarry as much? It's already been proven that there was tons of intermarrying happening in Europe from 780 AD when the migration started. So explain to me how genetics can be used as a way to claim indigeneity to the land when literally there are probably some South Africans who should be hopping on some boats and planes saying they claim the land of Israel, but they are not doing that. Why?
Because that's not the
Yo,
real land. The real Israel is in the Americas, South
I'm
no,
sorry,
America,
I
no,
wasn't
Peru.
listening. Can you say that
Atlanta.
again?
Peru.
No,
but
it's in
listen, they
Ukraine.
It's
migrated.
in
They
Peru.
still are.
It's in
They
Ukraine.
still
It
have.
ain't in no Peru.
It is. Where's the number one
Okay.
tourist location that
Listen, they migrated. They
Are
Israelis
you
still have.
okay? I have a
That
question.
don't
Israelis
matter.
Israelis go to
They
Peru
What
migrated.
more than any other
They have
place
what evidence
because
So
do
they
you
know
what?
the
have?
secret.
authority
Nah,
to
they know
that
the
land.
What
secret. The walls are
evidence?
Man,
still
we
up.
we can't
What
keep thinking
evidence?
like that, man.
Free
You
Peru
can't
Prove
keep
from
thinking
that
like
this
the
it.
is already
Nigga, I do
No, it's
research.
false.
like they know the
Free
secret
Peru
as if
What
from
they
the
all
evidence do you
born and
guys?
they have
Free
a convention and
Palestine.
all this other shit
What
and tell each other the secret. No, it don't work
Nah,
like that.
it's simple
what
research, bro.
evidence?
It just doesn't make
They
What
any
not
evidence?
sense
focused on
to
that, bro. They
me.
getting
It
money.
What
doesn't
evidence
make
do
any
you need
sense to
to
me
Free
prove
that we're
Palestine.
talking
that the
about
Khazarian period?
ancient. It doesn't make any sense
What?
to me that we're talking about ancient people, yet I literally have a European woman screaming bloody murder about how the fact that she has a claim to this indigeneity based off of her faith, based off of your
Yeah,
religion.
she's a
Okay.
professional
No
gaslighter
love.
too,
I'm
right?
I
So
think
getting
she
so
might be
so
you're
Hispanic.
sick
sick
of
of her.
people trying to
You're all
use
gaslighting this
science,
whole.
but complete no,
You're all
you're gaslighting
gaslighting.
Ola,
because you don't
There
have
is
any
no evidence
empirical
to the
evidence.
Khazarian theory.
You
Ola,
don't
shut
There's
have
up.
none.
any
I don't
empirical
even own a
evidence.
There is
The
gas
no
only
stove.
evidence that you have, the only
evidence.
evidence you have is what you were taught,
There's
the propaganda that you were taught to occupy a land. That's the only
Yes,
evidence
black.
that you have. You
Yes.
don't have any evidence to say that
Black
maybe you could
Widow.
have said, well, actually, maybe those South African people are the real Jews. They're closely
Black
related to the
Widow.
real Jews. No, you couldn't
White
say that because
supremacists in Europe
you
murdered
oh
my
my
family
Blue
and
Ola,
Pill,
forced
have
them
your
you
IDF
authorization to
back
that
murdered
to
land?
kids in
Israel.
Gaza.
Fact.
Your
You
IDF
don't.
that you support
I've never
murdered kids
harmed a
and
child in
families
my
in
life.
Gaza.
Say it
I've
So
again.
never
don't
You
harmed
bring
a
don't
me
have
the
child
any
in my
crocodile
life.
authorization
tears
to that
I have
about
land.
never
some
harmed a
bullshit
child in my
story.
life.
Hey, why
Why
do
are you
people
even
say
bringing that up? I've
crocodile
never
tears
harmed a
when
child in my life.
crocodiles don't cry?
Ola, you have
I've
no
never harmed a
authorization to
child in
that
my life.
land.
But you know what has
Period.
happened?
Ola, go
White
cry
people
about
have
it. Go
massacred
cry
my
about it.
Ola,
family.
Ola,
I
you're
don't
So
know if
calling
you
me
an
Israel.
white is a
Israelite or
little bit
not.
rude.
If
Calling me
you
white
So
own
is
why
a
rights
did you
to
little
the
get
bit
on the
land,
spicy.
cool.
Palestinians?
Ola, are
If
you
Why did
not,
you
Would
get
you?
on
Oh
cool.
them?
my!
Israeli?
I don't. I
Because
don't
White
get. It's
because
supremacists
like
of a
murdered
family
my
of
family.
converts, Ola.
It's
Calling
a
me that is
Just
kosher.
know
not
that.
It's,
enough.
okay. So let's keep it a
White
buck 100.
supremacists
When you
murdered my
talk about
family.
when you
Ap-
who
apologize.
muted me?
Apologize.
No,
Dude,
we
who's
won't
here? Who's
apologize.
the white
Your
I think
IDF
it's
supremacist
murdered
here?
you.
our
What the
cousins
fuck
back
is
in
that?
Palestine.
Anyways,
What
No,
do you
anyways.
white
apologize?
supremacy
Ola,
murdered
apologize.
my family, and you keep
Apologize.
calling me white. You
Apologize, Ola.
Arabs
apologize.
aren't
Your
Ola,
I
let's
Israeli
have a
never
IDF
harmed
conversation.
killed
anyone.
our cousins back in Palestine. You
I never
apologize.
killed anyone.
Ola,
Let's
I
let's
hear
have
never
a
you
killed
Hey, low
anyone.
apologize.
key.
peaceful.
Before there
I've
was
never killed
a
anybody.
before first of all, okay. You are of European descent. Whatever
You're a
sort of
Nazi sympathizer.
sub ray, what other
You're a
okay, so
Nazi
I'm
sympathizer.
happy to so yeah,
You are a
you wanna
Nazi
say
K
that?
sympathizer.
You wanna
Talib
say that?
Kweli.
So I'm so sorry. I'm please give me
Oh,
a
she
moment to
loves doing
speak
this
because
shit. She loves
let me tell
gaslighting.
you
It's so
give
infuriating.
She just
give
has
me
that
a moment to
neo-Nazi
say this, okay?
mentality. It's okay. Go.
You are a histrionic, propaganda filled individual who refuses to look at the scientific and historical evidence. You have been literally manipulating science to fit your narrative. This is what's happening.
Hey, where's your mic?
Manipulation of science to fit your narrative.
I'm an
It's disgusting. And no,
Ethiopian
I
Jew.
didn't
She
say it was
can't
a
get.
conspiracy, okay? Nobody said it's a conspiracy because I've never seen a group of people more trigger happy to say anti-Semitism than even black people. And we have to hold our tongue.
Whoa.
She has this like borderline personality disorder. I'm studying that shit at school. She has literally all the symptoms right
Yeah, yeah, it's
As an
literally giving
Ethiopian
younger
Jew,
What's the
I would
girls.
like to
symptoms?
say
What's the
now.
symptoms?
she's
Psychopath.
gaslighting.
It is like it's psychopathy,
Sounds like you didn't
100%. I'm
pass your
sorry,
test,
I'm
buddy.
gonna say this. It might get me clipped, okay? Any Israeli or Zionist that spews pure propaganda to support a position that completely negates the modern world's understanding of indigeneity is out of their goddamn fucking mind.
I
Agreed.
told you they're a
Facts.
bunch of camel
Facts.
fuckers and assholes.
I totally agree.
It's white
Whoa.
privilege and entitlement.
The
Facts.
It's
United
biased
States
and
is a
opinion.
collection of camel fuckers and
You
assholes,
fucking
I
say
never
that.
fucked a
and
camel, bro.
Who?
Yeah, you can say that. The
So
US
this
ain't
is what
shit
I'm
either.
trying to say is that y'all motherfuckers want to be crying on stage how you're not white, but then all of a sudden you get up on the stage calling people camel fuckers and shit like you just came off a boat from fucking Poland claiming the
Right.
land. So shut the fuck up.
I'm talking about the people that call people like me camel fuckers.
Oh, fair
And
enough.
they happen to be actually lighter skin. They're what you call pig skin. Some people like to call them that.
Oh my
I just
fucking
call them
god.
annoying.
Oh my
I was
fucking god.
I wanted to have a conversation with that Jewish chick about the Khazars. Looks like she got kicked off the stage.
No, that's the problem. You can't have a conversation with
She
them.
don't want to
They'll
have a
cut you off,
conversation.
they'll
She's gonna look
gaslight
at you.
you, and they won't
She's
listen.
literally she's in your face right now. She's gonna say, "You're a Jew. We support Jews. We don't see race." And then once she hits that motherfucking synagogue, she's gonna be like, "Is your mother Jewish?" Pure
Right, but
lie.
listen, that's not biblical. I'm an Ethiopian Jew, so I feel like I would have an easier time dealing with her because she's absolutely incorrect in every aspect. Everything she said is incorrect. So I would just like her to come on the
No,
stage
she's
so I can
not
thoroughly
normal. That
debunk
you have to
everything
understand, she's not
she
normal.
says.
This is not how a normal person talks or
We are
functions.
saving you like minutes up to an hour of
Like
gaslighting,
calories. We're
especially
saving
since
you calories
Okay,
and
no,
Guys,
we're
energy.
are you,
saving
understand.
for
you
I
God's
understand.
calories
sake,
of
Hey,
stress right now.
nomad, check your mess.
guys, for God's sake, do you know what she does for a living?
Understood.
I feel like y'all
You
should let
guys
him
know what she
spar
does
with
She
for
her.
a living?
serves people like me for a
She's a
living.
fucking ballerina instructor, you guys. What do you expect?
So my question becomes, how do people who are Eastern European Jews feel like they have a monopoly on Judaism? And I asked this question hours ago and I never got my answer.
Can I answer it?
How do you
I
guys
actually
feel
can.
like you have some type of a monopoly on Judaism when the ancient Israelites weren't Jews? And furthermore, the closest thing to a Jew is an Ethiopian Jew. How do you feel like, as a white European Jew, you have more of a say because you're a Zionist than an Ethiopian Jew or anybody else who claims to
You
be from
just
the
answered
heritage?
yourself when you said the Zionist. The political movement is what made all these things possible.
Right, but the political movement has nothing to do with anything that's biblical because
Yeah,
being a
but
Jew is
it hijacked all the
biblical.
biblical stuff so it can prove
Being a
its point and
Zionist
give.
has nothing to do with being a biblical Jew.
Yeah, listen, I agree with you, but in modern day today, political Zionism made sure to hijack biblical stuff in order to legitimize itself.
It's such
So and
bullshit.
it's happening.
It's
It's still
Holocaust
wrong.
trauma. That's what we got to also talk about. It's Holocaust trauma.
Okay,
Shit,
now
I
that
want
we're on
some of
that
that.
topic,
Black people would have been had a
I'm
steak.
glad you brought that topic up. Dude, 6 million Jews. Actually, let me not go there.
Go there, you're
Oh
No,
Ethiopian
my
Jew.
I
I want
go
to hear
there,
God.
you.
man. Go
If
No, no,
there.
no, no,
anyone's gonna
no.
say it, it's
I
gonna
don't
be
want to go
you.
there.
Exactly.
I don't want to go there. My point is, just because somebody who was German assaulted you, does that justify you
Yo,
assaulting the
hold up. Let's pause.
Palestinians?
Let's pause. Isn't that
Fuck
crazy how
yeah.
no one can say anything because everyone's scared? Isn't that fucked up? How
No,
no one
listen,
Guys,
can
it's
say
not about
anything
guys.
we could
It's not
because
debate
Yeah.
the
they're
about
6 million
scared
being.
for their
figure all
careers.
day.
Guys,
That's
it's
so
not about
messed.
being scared.
Listen, we could debate the
Listen,
6 million
no,
figure
guys, I
all
want to tell
day.
you
Does
something.
that still
Honestly,
justify
I
you
want to
attacking
talk
no,
about the
Palestine?
guys.
6 million figure. Can we get into that
Well,
Yeah, let's
actually?
get
Like,
into
because
it.
well, we can, we can. But
I
before we
want to
do
be
that,
educated. I want to be educated.
right, right, I do
Guys,
It's
I
too.
a
just
But
fake number.
before
wanted
we
to
do
say
that,
it's not
does it
about.
justify Palestinians getting killed?
No, but also if you come to a Palestinian and you say,
The
well,
Germans killed
are
your
you sure
folks, and you turn around
1.5
and kill
million
some
of you guys got
Palestinians?
expelled on the 48 during Nakba? I'll be hella offended. It's not okay. So the numbers, like this is not us just on Clubhouse questioning the numbers. These are historians who actually dedicated their whole life to study the Holocaust.
Listen,
So
I
it's not about
understand
being
all of
scared.
that,
It's not about being
and you're
scared. Some
100% correct.
atrocities like the Rwanda genocide and like the Armenian genocide and like the Holocaust and slavery and all these events that still have like trauma on people living today. It's hard
Yeah.
to criticize. There is nothing to criticize about, right? That's it's not about being scared.
No, it's not that, but
Okay,
using it. No, it's not that, but using
on the
it
topic of
as a card to
slavery,
disprove
you know
anything
that there were
that goes
many
against
Jews
your
that
own
were
mindset.
responsible and financing the slave trade. Many Jews were
Yeah,
financing
so
the slave
so
trade.
so were Arabs.
And
Does that
and
justify what's
your
happening to the
Indian
Arabs
buddies
today?
too. In Chickadana, in Chickadana.
Okay, that's fine, but right
You
now
guys are
we
all
are living
guilty.
under the American. Okay, that's fine, but we are under the American government that still exists alongside the same government that sanctioned slavery. So they are just as much as guilty as the Jews who sanctioned slavery. No,
You make a strong case.
listen, I would understand if 1,000 years ago you talk about the Egyptians who enslaved people. I would say, listen, they did have slaves, but their government doesn't exist to this day. Right now, 2023, the same United States government that exists now was the same government that existed that sanctioned slavery. So we are those who were affected by that are more than entitled to reparations for that slavery. Yes or no?
Yes. What I'm can I say something real quick? This is what I'm really trying to figure out. Why do Ashkenazi Jewish folks of European heritage, because people are telling me there's Ashkenazis everywhere, but we'll talk about that later, anyways. So, Ashkenazi Jewish folks, why is it that they think they are absolved of like racism? Like, what I'm trying to say is that in the black community, we even are aware of the fact that there's like infighting, right? We are
Right.
black folks enact colorism onto darker skinned black folks. And so, of course, since we are so oppressed globally, there's only so much traction that can come with a position of being a black person with light skin. But if there are multiple different Jewish people with multiple different ethnicities, right? Come from multiple different lands, right? And I'm not speaking in terms of biblically, but I'm speaking solely in terms of like where a Ethiopian Jew, a Mizrahi Jew, a American Jew, a European Jew, like all of this, right? Why is it that there is this idea that they can't come to understand that they're enacting an act of white supremacy, that it is anti-brown, that being anti-Arab is really, you guys are gonna like be like, wow, this is a stretch, but it's not. But actually, being anti-Arab is anti-black, okay, because it's associated with darker skin tones. It's associated with further away from whiteness, so it works within the framework of
Okay,
anti-blackness.
We were
why
talking
are
about
you
how
supporting
Ethiopian.
the House of Saud and Saudi Arabians? They have nothing to do with the rest of the Middle
You're
East.
They
not
don't
Parsha, stop
listen.
talking
understanding. You're
about
Don't
not
Saudi
don't
Not
understanding.
Arabia,
all
We're
dude.
talking
Arabs are
about a
House
For
of
state.
fuck's
Saud.
okay.
sake.
No. Listen,
This,
don't answer a
Just
question with
just
a
like
question. Just
let
answer
me
the
Christianity,
just say
question.
this real quick.
Islam
We're
has
talking
both
about a
blacks and
state. Let me
whites.
just say this real quick because I really want to clarify what I'm trying to say. Like, we're talking about a state, a nation that was founded by the British. Well, they say it's not founded, but literally came to be because of the Great British Empire. What other thing did the Great British Empire do? The transatlantic slave trade. So those customs, those racist customs, right? I think seep into every colonialist project that they begin or give up or end. It's all there. So I just feel like my Ashkenazi brothers and sisters need to come to acknowledge their white privilege, to acknowledge that they are enacting trauma upon an other group of people who would not be considered white, even though Bella Hadid looks really white, but we'll talk about that later. Anyways, a group of people
I
who,
agree with you, Black.
right?
I
Okay,
agree,
I'll be
but you have to realize Christianity exists in Africa long before the colonial
Oh,
settlers
we know
arrived.
that. We know that. We
Right,
know Ethiopians. If you really want to get to Semitic people, the Ethiopians are really the motherfuckers who've been holding this shit for a while.
right. Exactly, 100%. So it goes back to why do Jews feel? For me, And my answer hasn't been my question hasn't been answered. Why do white Ashkenazi Jews feel like they have some type of a monopoly on what Judaism or what it means to be a Jew is? Because when we look at what a Jew historically is, it was somebody who was melanated. They intermingled with the Egyptians and the Ethiopians and or the Cushites, whatever you want to call them. They intermingled with people of color, and somehow you have a group of Europeans who feel as if, well, we are converts and we can trace our lineage back to 4 European women and to some Khazars, but for whatever reason, we feel like we have a monopoly on what it means to be Jewish. But if you're an Ethiopian Jew, we can sterilize you and we can put up different barriers to keep you from coming into the land of Israel. But if you are a white Jew or a Ashkenazi or whatever, you don't face those same barriers, and that's what I wanna. That I need that question answered from my Ashkenazi brothers and sisters in the chat. I haven't got the answer, and I'm still looking for it.
They'll never give the
This is white
answer.
superiority complex fueled by the Jewish text saying that they're the chosen people. They're using that as fuel to justify why them, the white Jews, are above all other beings.
What makes a okay? Please,
It's giving
can you
Scientology, to be
reiterate?
real. It's giving like culty Scientology ass fucking activity
Right.
because
Can you reiterate that a little? Just clarify what you just said, because the white Jews, there is no kingdom in Eastern Europe that history attests to that speaks on white Jews. You have Yemenite Jews that existed in Arabia. You a kingdom of Jews that existed in West Africa. And yeah, you might have some people that say, "Oh, well, the Hebrew Israelite claims to West Africanism is false," but history still attests to Jews migrating to West Africa regardless. History doesn't attest to Jews migrating to northwestern Europe. It only attests to Khazars who converted and eventually migrated east.
you
So my question is, how do a group of converts somehow have the monopoly? Like the question,
Exactly,
I
because they
need my Jewish
hijacked the
brothers.
religion. They hijacked the religion in the way where the religion itself, there is
I
there
need
are
I
sources
need
that
my
say
Jewish
that
brothers
people
to answer.
think. Sorry, what was that? Can you repeat?
I'm sorry. I said I just need my Ashkenazi brethren to
I don't
answer
think
that
there
question.
are any on the stage right now.
What about Eve's?
I'm not Ashkenazi. Hell